All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the pre-market prep. I hope you guys are having an amazing morning. Hopefully, you guys had an incredible day yesterday. Good morning, Peter. How you doing today?
Hey, good morning, Carlos. I'm doing okay. I'm having one of those weird mornings. You know when you have those mornings that you try not to read too much into it? Like I get up
Yeah.
and it's strangely dark here. I don't know where the sun is. It's somewhere hidden behind a lot of clouds, but it's not supposed to rain today. And then, I go to fill up my water and I put it on my desk and I didn't actually put the lid on, so I got a liter and a half of water that was all over my desk a few minutes ago because I went to pick it up and the lid fell off and I knocked it all over. And then I go to I love my cereal in the morning. And I go to open a new bag of cereal, and every once in a while, you get those bags, and you're like, why am I so weak? Why can I not open the bag? And it finally opened, and it was like a bag of chips scenario. It went poof everywhere. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm trying not to think that that's, a precursor to what my trading day might look like, but I'm really nervous right now. Like
I
really
would, I would
nervous.
even, I would even trade today, man. I would completely take off. I'll go
Yeah,
start the weekend.
I feel like this is like danger close, man. Danger close.
Yeah,
It's
man, flying too close to the sun here. But Peter,
yeah,
question, because those mornings have happened to me. Did you
yeah.
laugh through it? Because I just laugh. It's so funny. It's just gotta laugh. Like, this is great. This can be happening. It can't get any worse.
Yeah, admittedly the water, the first one, no laughing. But by the time
Okay.
the cereal happened, that's when I'm like, all right, like what's happening? Like
That's
clearly
great. Great.
clearly I should have stayed in bed this morning.
I,
Something's not working.
That's the attitude to have, my friend. Love it, love it. Friends,
Yeah.
well, not hopefully. I know for a fact you're having a better morning than Peter so far, but he's gonna switch that around pretty quickly and get back to, I guess, opening bags and everything not spilling over. So we'll get there. But
All right.
right now, gappers list, friends. Pretty balanced out. Again, pretty quiet. We had a quiet gappers list yesterday too. There was some stuff in the red, some stuff in the green. Nothing overly exciting. Turned out to be an amazing day with Apple for a lot of us. Hood. I mean, there was so many opportunities yesterday, Peter. You could have picked. I mean, if you went off the gappers list that morning compared to what the market open we had, two different like pictures completely on how great it turned
Yep.
out. Right. So,
Yep.
um, Gappers list this morning looks pretty decent compared to what we had yesterday. Let's take a look at our U.S. economic calendar. We do have some numbers today, and then we'll come back and start looking at what's on here.
Yeah, focused on jobless claims today. Quite a number of data points coming out. We've already had, and I'm not sure when this updates because I've updated the numbers there, but there it is. It's like a miracle. Initial jobless claims and continuous jobless claims are pretty much on target. You can see there's a few thousand variation, but it's pretty much right on target. Average hourly earnings were slightly lower than forecasted at only 0.2% versus 0.3. Again, not significantly off. So I think that we're not going to see much of a market impact from that. Later on this morning at 9:45, we have the global services PMI and then the ISM PMI, the non-manufacturing one at 10. Interesting numbers, but on a day like today, when the markets close early, we have to keep in mind the markets close at 1 o'clock today. We only have half a day. That being said, I should say the equity markets close at 1. The bond markets close at 2 p.m. So we've got a little bit of a staggered shutdown today. Hopefully we get good trading right up through the 1 o'clock time frame, but we never know. Usually on these half days, especially before the extra long weekend that we've got here, the trading usually starts to die off around 11 and things flatten out. It's like the afternoon starts a little early. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. Ugh.
Peter,
A little. Oh my
we
God.
don't need you choking. And people are
I
asking,
know.
why is Peter wearing a red shirt on a day like today? Like he should change to something green, or just to
Green.
make sure that
Well,
yeah, we want to make sure nothing goes wrong.
red shirts. This is my like. I am gonna go outside and play pickleball right after the markets close. So I was just getting dressed already. Anyways, yes, try not to choke on myself. Yeah, so the markets close early. Normally, I said we see things shut down a little bit earlier. So you just anticipate some chop starting a little earlier than you normally would. You need to be cautious on these days anyways. I tend to say this every single day, but I've just seen it so many times where you think you're going to get some good trading and then it just sort of dies off and you're like, all right, I guess we're done for the week. So we'll see what happens. Again, don't judge too much. Let the market, the price action dictate what you're going to do.
Yep, absolutely, friends. So we've seen that so many times. We saw it yesterday. Yesterday was a great example of it, given how things turned out. All right, let's dive into this gappers list. We'll start with the first one on here. We've seen this ticker many, many times. Is SBET, recently at least, Sharp Link Gaming. Did we establish what they do? I don't even remember. I know we spoke about it before, especially if you guys remember on this daily, we had this crazy pop in action over a span of about 4 weeks and then kind of went dead again. So today we're seeing a little bit of action. We're seeing a gap of 11.2, 4.6 million shares traded. Had a somewhat of a breakout type day yesterday from what is this, 950 to 12, so not bad. Today sitting around 13, as high as 1360. So there is some action on here. Maybe today could be their day. Their flow is not a low one. It's at 60 million. You can see it here on trading terminal scanner. 60 million shares float. Could be in play today, Peter. What do you think on it?
I don't know. There seems to be this sudden rush to be they're yet another company that they're a gaming company originally. SharpLink Gaming is the name of the company. However, what they're focused on right now is to become a treasury for Ethereum. So their objective is to become the largest publicly traded Ethereum holder globally. So all right, they've got $425 million worth of investment that they're going to use to buy Ethereum, and I don't know. There seems to be this. I guess everybody's trying to corner the market. Like, is this like the old? Anybody read Reminiscences of a Stock Operator? They talk about the big plays used to be trying to corner the market in a commodity. I feel like that's what people are trying to do on this whole treasury, theory, where they're like, "Wow, it's going to become constrained in terms of supply. So we're going to soak it all up right now and wait for people to come demanding it of us. And then we'll sell it to them at a premium and make $1 trillion. There's a big assumption in there that people are actually going to come looking for it. So, I guess good luck. In the meantime, we'll see if we'll see what happens. If it gives us trading opportunity, again, I'm all for it. I'm not sure about the long-term strategy, but that's what they're trying to do.
Yeah, I see that. And again, so many companies trying to do this now. It's insane. That's what action is at. Today is it going to be in play? I'm not sure. We do have shares for sure. I mean, the pre-market looks good here. I gotta say, we do got 4.7 million shares traded. It's not a low flow. We got plenty of shares for sure. I think we slammed this on a secondary. I think we'll put it on a secondary. Let's see what it does. And if anything, we can always take it off if we don't like what we're seeing. But let's put SBET on the secondary list for now, and we'll look at it a little bit closer a little bit later. D-Dog is next off the gappers list here. Gap up list that is up 10%, 1.1 million shares traded. This is a big pop for them today. They normally don't move, normally don't get a lot of volume. So two things going for them this morning is this great gap up. All seems to have happened after hours, plus 1.1 million shares traded. They're normally doing about quickly doing the math here, what, around 3 million? So this is pretty good for them, Peter.
Yeah, and the move this morning is because it was announced that they're going to be joining the S&P 500. So they're going to be one of the 500 companies that we use to determine what the overall market looks like. So that's good for them, which means their stock will be in demand because it'll just be added to a lot of holding. What am I trying to say? A lot of the mutual funds and different funds that need to sort of track the S&P. Now they have to add Datadog in there. So that'll be as of July the 9th, which means some of that acquisition activity is going to be happening over the next couple of days.
All right, we'll see what that does here. So D Dog in play today. Again, I'm not a big fan of it. It does trade with light volume. Today could be their day though. If you like it, put it on the list. It has a positive catalyst, as you heard from Peter there. All right, let's take a look at what else. Bull Bull, another one that we saw here yesterday as well. Did run up pretty good yesterday. Look at yesterday's action here. This is the intraday for yesterday. Had a really nice run all the way from 12.50 to about 14.25. I mean, that's awesome. How well it traded is hard to tell without seeing the price section, but I obviously did move very well. This morning, gapping up another 4.4 with 1.2 million shares traded, Peter. So the parting is continuing here. Daily looks good. What's the latest and greatest?
I mean, no new news on it. As we know, this is on fintech. They're looking to provide, web-based global financial services and a trading platform. So, yeah, as you said, they've just been running for the last couple of days, as you can see, on increasing volume over the last 3 or 4 trading days. So, I mean, it looks good. It looks generally better than I would have expected a couple of days ago because I thought that the party was over on Tuesday, but it seems like no, it picked up steam yesterday and looks like it's continuing the drive today. So, you go, Bull.
Yes, you go, you go. Moving up today some more. I don't know if I'm gonna watch it, guys. I'm on the fence. I'll keep it off. If you guys see something great, let me know. Again, pre-market has 1.2 million shares traded. And it looks like we're trying to get something going here. So yeah, just gonna clear my list from yesterday so I can start putting some stuff in the gappers. Okay, good. I'll keep it off for now. We can always come back to it. TMC this morning. Let's take a look here. TMC. I'm sorry, not the meals, the metals company. Today we're up 4.5 for 350,000 shares traded, as you see here. Again, how did it trade yesterday? Let's take a look. Go back here. Didn't really do much. It barely moved, actually. I mean, it looks good on the chart, but this is what, 20 cents move for the most part. And again, for $6 stock, that's not bad, but again, just not really what I'm into here. And then later, another move towards the end of the day, going from about $6 to 6.40. So depends what you like. This doesn't fit my criteria. I'm gonna keep it off my list, Peter. Anything you like on this one today?
No, I don't really see news that's keeping this thing moving. Yeah, I don't like it when I can't explain it. So, yeah, like you said, didn't do much yesterday. Moved more after hours last night into the close and after hours, but I'm not sure what prompted that sudden move. But yeah, I don't like it.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of this one. Another one we talked about yesterday. Oscar Health. SOSCR. We actually kept this on the secondary, if you remember. Actually, you don't remember because I didn't trade live with you. I traded live with P Capital Team yesterday, so I did have this on my secondary list, and we were looking at it. It just didn't look good. Like the price action was so bad, so I immediately took it off my list because I had it on my watches and I kept cycling through it, and we took it off. It was not great. It might look great now if you look at it, but it was really bad.
No.
So again, nothing exciting. I'm not gonna have it on my list today, Peter, and I doubt you will. Anything else to add?
I was watching it through the open, hoping to get a sort of my signature trade on it with the Rising Devil, but it never really pulled back enough for me to take it. So yeah, and then it was pretty choppy for a while. So yeah, didn't pan out.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. So we'll
That
keep
and
that off.
CNC. CNC was the other
Yeah,
one that I was
CNC
watching,
was
if you remember from
was
yesterday.
yeah, CNC was another one that again was pretty wild. Just kept dropping. Really never recovered. Gap down. It just kept on dropping. So today they're not doing much. By the way, just up 1.5, a little bit of recovery. But again, the price action was so bad. Like just didn't do anything good. All right, friends, let's take a look at what you like, Peter, because that covers our gap up so far of the trading terminal list here. Anything you like this morning that might not be on here?
Tesla, it's always a good play. Tesla had those very interesting moves. If you remember before the market yesterday, we spent a lot of time at the open trading session talking about Tesla and watching it, waiting for opportunities. Again, another one that just didn't give us give me anyways a pullback for the entry I was looking for. I think I did get one sort of quick trade on it, but it was a little choppy in the opening couple of minutes. But I always got to watch it. So I will be watching again today. Nvidia, AMD, both gapping slightly higher this morning, also on my list because we'll see if they can post some moves here as we go into this shortened day on a short week.
Yeah, Nvidia's looking nice. Had a great day yesterday. And then again, so did AMD, but Nvidia looking much better as far as the daily goes. So I'll be watching that one as well. Peter, so AMD and Nvidia both on deck. Anything else before we look at our gap down?
That's about it.
All right, awesome. I'll do this. I'll put Nvidia on the main list, and I'm gonna put AMD on the secondary, just to not take the whole spot here with semiconductors. All right, let's see what's gapping down today. Let's go over to, again, you can always get access to these scanners, friends, at tradingterminal.com. So head on over there, you can see what's happening. NCPL this morning. Oh, got a little bit of some action here. Low float for today. Float on this one is, I'm showing, I just had it here, 2.2 million. So pretty low. And you can tell by the price action that it's a little bit wild. So down 32% this morning, was opened up around 850, now down around as low as 395, back up to $6 here. So be very, very careful. Hard to borrow on this one with interactive brokers, and you can tell the daily has been all over the place. Peter, something's falling off the bottom here. What is your thoughts? And again, low flow stock. I probably won't be watching it. Anything happening?
NCPL. What is this? Net Capital. That's a very generic name, isn't it? Powerful financial technology, proven scalable platform. What the heck do they do? What do they do? They incubate, accelerate, and empower private companies to grow. So they provide private funding, I guess. Huh. All right. And it seems like fintech is moving today. We got a number of companies in this space that just seem to be getting legs here. Anyways, trying to learn what Net Capital does, but I'm not sure why. I mean, they did have a registered direct offering of $9.9 million that was announced today, which is I mean, decent, right? I mean, somebody's buying some of their stock, 714,000 shares to be specific. But like you said, low float, Carlos. So it's significant in that it's about a third of their available float that is being placed privately, which is good. That usually props up a stock price a little bit. But I don't know. I'm not in this case. It seems to be not providing the benefit that they want. I don't know what to make of it. The news sounds good. The price action doesn't look
Yeah.
great.
And the fact that we can short it on top of that, I mean, it puts us at a disadvantage. So we will leave this one alone. The next one on here is NA, not available. What a ticker name! I wouldn't take that ticker name. NA. So here we are down 9%, 495,000 shares traded. Daily's very messy. Had a big gap up. Look at this, up to 30. This was on June 24th. Slammed down to 14 here, and then just kept trickling off. So I mean, this is just nasty, guys. I mean, what do you want to do here? Is this what you want to trade, Peter? I mean, come on, tell me what you think.
No, I'm trying to another company. I'm trying to figure out what they do. Nanolabs is the name of the company. They're supposed to be a semiconductor out of China. I say supposed to be because the news is that they've purchased $50 million worth of BNB, Binance coin. So, all these companies that they say they do one thing, and then but you know what we're actually going to do? We're going to take our funding and we're going to buy some type of crypto offering. Anyways,
Yeah,
all right.
don't know
So far,
about
the
that.
strategy doesn't seem to be working.
It's does not. We
Mm,
rode a truck. We haven't rode the truck in a while. That one definitely
no.
deserves a truck there. So,
I
we got this.
randomly I
Yeah,
ran into that video this morning. It just came
where?
up on my feed for something totally unrelated. It was just I thought, hey, I know that video. How
This
come
exact
Carlos
same
and I aren't
video.
driving it? But our faces weren't on it.
Yeah,
Anyways,
there it is. All right, not good. We'll skip on that one. Let's see. Ooh, look at this one, Baba, one of my good buddies. So let's see. I have not traded Baba in a long time. Went through like a stretch where it was
no,
almost every day.
yeah,
And then it just stopped loving me. Like I said, no, I don't need you no more. and it didn't do anything. So it was around this area, around the beginning of the year. Very, very nice. Then it just got really choppy. But today they're gapping down 2.6, 1 million shares traded. So we do got some activity, some action this morning. Peter, is this driving off any news that we might be able to trade this today? I mean, I like Baba, but it just has not delivered.
Yeah, I mean, it's the secondary. It's a finance raise. This is not the news that we typically like to trade. So they've said this morning they're looking to raise approximately $12 billion in Hong Kong dollars. It's about 1.5 US billion, and in exchangeable bonds to invest in cloud infrastructure and global commerce operations. So it's a cash grab. It's an opportunity to raise cash, which usually is not good for the stock, but also not tradable.
Yeah, yeah, no, I don't know how good that's going to be. So we'll leave Baba alone for today. Let's take a look at Rio Tinto this morning. Is that wine? Is that like wine? What is this? Rio
No,
Tinto
they're a mining company.
mining company. Oh, not as exciting. All right. So Rio this morning down 2.5, almost 700,000 shares traded. Again, it looks foreign. Is it foreign? Let's take a look at the name here. I don't see it on the name, but doesn't look good on the daily. So I'm inclined to not have this on deck. But I don't think this is going to trade well, unless you have any news that can tell us otherwise.
I don't know. It's some news that they plan to invest about $1.5 billion here in Canada, in Quebec, in their new supply agreement with Hydro-Quebec. So hydropower is big, but they're using one of their subsidiaries, Aluminerie Alouette, which is an aluminum producer, to invest in the Quebec space. I assume that got the trading volume early on. It's not going to continue. Almost
Yeah.
guaranteed.
Yeah, I don't think this is going to be a good one for today. I think we'll definitely find better stuff to look at, like maybe Hood is next on the gap down list, and the last one on here. I mean, this thing was on fire yesterday, and the last couple of days it's been trading very well. So today down 2.4. Again, it's down, but if you look at this daily, to me, this is such a bullish situation. I mean, look at the run since May, right? Actually, since April. Since April, it's kind of did a somewhat of a double bottom there, and it has just never looked back, guys. We're sitting at $35 just a few months ago, up at 95, and still looking to want to go higher. Is there any news, Peter? I mean, what was the original news that we just kind of been talking about Hood, and it's just been continuing? I mean, it's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, again, Hood is one of these companies that it's more about their position in the marketplace as a um, sort of as a broker. I guess that's their core job as opposed to an
Yeah.
investor themselves. And they are dropping. Are they down this morning? They are down, right?
Yeah, they're pulling back a little bit. I mean, I won't call it
Yeah.
down. I mean, look at the moves lately, right? They've been insane. You're down 2.5, but you could easily get above that previous day close, depending how things go.
Yeah. Uh, there's sort of an interesting he said, she said going on between Robinhood and OpenAI. So Robinhood had announced a partnership with OpenAI, and OpenAI has come out and said, no, no, we're not. We're not partnered with them. We're not involved in this deal, whatever Robinhood's doing, and we don't endorse it. So, and OpenAI is the company behind ChatGPT. So, um, it's Robinhood apparently they unveiled some of these tokenized shares and that they are, sort of I don't know, making a special deal to be able to issue these, and it's interesting that OpenAI has said, we didn't authorize any of this, nothing to do with us. Robinhood's doing this all on their own. So, yeah, that's a little bit of a hit after, nice good rise for Robinhood. It feels like they've tripped on this type of stuff before, right? It's not the first time they've had this type of issue. So, I mean, they're likely to bounce back from it, but in the short term, it might actually provide trading opportunity, being that this typically gets a little more volume, and you can see that volume has been up the last few days. So, might be worth keeping an eye on, Carlos, but I don't really know, you know, how 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 long are the legs on this one? I really don't know.
Yeah, yeah, there you go. How long on the legs on this one? I like that. I like that. I haven't heard that one yet. All right. Hood, I'm going to put in a secondary. It has been trading somewhat decent. So let's see if today is going to continue. Like Peter says, how long are the legs on this thing? We'll find out. All right, friends. Let's take a look. That
I think it's
actually
a wine
covers.
thing. It comes
Is
from
it a
wine
wine
tasting.
thing?
It's got good legs. Yeah. Anyways, never mind.
Okay, okay. I could go so many different places, so be careful, friends, how you use it. But yeah, I like it. All right, Gappers list this morning is complete, both up and down. Peter, what do you like this morning that might not be on this list?
Well, from a gap down perspective, not a whole lot. It seems like the quantum sector is down a little bit, but never enough to make it move. What sticks out though is Apple for me. Apple is down this morning slightly, where all the rest of the Magnificent Seven or the well, what were we gonna call it? The terrific 10. Anyways, whatever we got. Anyways, all the other stocks are green. Apple's the only one that's sitting in the red. I had a good move off the open yesterday. Apple did. So yeah, like we were talking about, it definitely was in play. So it was worth watching yesterday. I don't know about today, but yesterday was a good day. So that's what I like. What the other thing I like, as was reminded to me by Brian in the room and a couple of others, SoCal. What I like is, yeah, see if we can watch Andrew ring the closing bell. Now, he himself is not ringing the closing bell of the Nasdaq. You know, they have this ceremony every day, right? Where they have different companies
Yeah.
come in and ring the opening bell and then the closing bell. Well, Arrive AI is the company that rings the opening bell today, and the closing bell is slated to be rung by our friends at DOS platform. So that's why Andrew's there.
Hmm.
He and Brian are some of the invited guests for DOS. And if you guys are interested in knowing more, I'm sharing a screen now, but you can just go to the Nasdaq website, and they every day they post who's leading their bell ringing ceremony.
Do
So
they, Peter? Do they show that live? I know on
I don't
Bloomberg.
I
On
don't
Bloomberg,
know.
they do the New York Stock Exchange. I seen them do New York
Yeah.
Stock Exchange all the time. I don't see the Nasdaq because Nasdaq is like automated, right? I mean, they're all automated now. Like I seen the videos where
Yeah.
people actually hit it late and the bell goes off. Like, all right, they're not trusting you to get this right on time. Um, especially when
Yeah.
it's like,
Apparently on CNBC they show it,
yeah,
but I
okay.
can't say I've ever watched it. So,
Yeah,
but
yeah. I've seen
yeah.
it on Bloomberg a couple of times for the
So,
close. Obviously, the open we're here with you guys, so we missed that. All right, we'll try to watch it. We'll try to watch it and record it, and then we'll see. It should be
yeah.
exciting. I'm not sure if I'll be around at that time. What time do we close today, Peter?
1 o'clock.
1 o'clock? Oh yeah, it might still
Yeah.
be around actually. I thought it was two. Yeah, it might still be around to do that.
Well,
All right, friends. So yeah, Peter. So we got a Apple, which was great yesterday. Let's see what it does today. I'm gonna add that to my list as well. Anything else you like?
not really, to be honest.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I
Pretty
guess sorry, I
quiet.
muted there. No, I hit mute again by mistake. Yeah, I'm
Mm.
back. Yeah, I agree. There's not a whole lot that looks great. I have Tesla, I have Apple. I'm gonna add Nvidia to my list, and I got a couple of secondary stuff here: SPED, AMD, and Hood. So we'll see what comes up after the bell rings here. Let's go to you guys. See what you guys like this morning. What are you guys watching today? What's on deck for you? And let's see if we can find something we can add to our list here. BBAI. Yeah, saw someone mention that in our YouTube chat as well. Over on
There.
YouTube, hit that thumbs up. Really appreciate it. It does help us out a ton. Yeah, BBAI is funky though. I watched it yesterday because it kept hitting the scanners because it was started to run up pretty good here, and by the time I saw it, it was a little bit too late. It just kind of started getting choppy. So it's you got to have good timing on it, man. It's a lower price stock that's looking to break out here. I forget the news they have, but they do have some positive news here. Um, yeah, it's in play. How it was going to trade, I'm not sure. I do like the daily here. I do like the pre-market action I'm seeing. But the intraday action yesterday was a little bit funky. I'm going to add it to the list. I think it looks very explosive. But it's one of these stocks, again, where you just got to be careful. Big Bear AI. I love the name, by the way. Let's see where it goes. All right, let's see what
Well,
else.
maybe today's the day to
Hmm.
trade the animals, right? We got Data Dog
Yeah.
and the Big Bear. So,
This is the animal day. Yes, let's see what happens. And POTR is another one that, well, how did it do yesterday? POTR here, it also looking to break out. We're up 1.5, 1.1 million shares traded. I have not traded this in some time here now, but POTR is always fun to watch. Since we don't have enough to watch today, I'll put it on the main list. But I gotta say though, lately has not been really on front and center for us, Peter, as far as trades, right? It
No.
hasn't been that. I don't want to say easy because it's never easy to trade, but it hasn't been that clean to find opportunities, right? Maybe that's the better choice of words. But nevertheless, we'll put it on here. Maybe this fluke that is was going through here is done, and maybe we can get back to some normal trading. We'll see what happens. D Dog, again, I won't watch D Dog. It is in play today. It has news. You can put it on your list, but it's just not my cup of tea, guys. Right? So, but watch it, watch it. And it never has been. For some reason, D Dog has never been a stock that I like the way it trades. Like the volume is very light. The spread sometimes I'm not a fan of. So it's just one of these tickers that it just doesn't do it for me here, Peter. Have you traded this
This is
before?
a
Have you?
this is another stock. It's been around for a while. I don't know why I associate it with Norm. Is it I think I don't know if Norm ever traded it or it's just
He
one of those
probably
things
did.
that
Because every time it came up, he was like D Dog. He was
yeah. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So, all right. Well, then I guess it's a valid association.
Yeah, so I'm not sure. We'll leave it alone. It is in play today. I love the gap up, guys. 10%, 1.5 million shares traded. I mean, all right, we'll look at it. We'll look at it on the secondary. We'll look at it. We'll see. You guys convince me to look at it, or I convince myself. Not sure which one came first. Let's take a look at it. Let's take a look at it. Doesn't hurt as a secondary. See what happens. POTR is good. Yeah, I see it moving, guys. Yeah, POTR right now it's doing some stuff. Right. Look at the move here. So it is definitely in play. I like what I'm seeing there. All right, over on YouTube, what do you guys like this morning? Let's take a look. Bull. We looked at Bull. Yeah, we looked at it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know, Peter. I'll
Well,
let you take this
hey,
one.
maybe we need to add it to the animals. We got we got
Yes.
bears, we got bulls, and we got dogs. So it
Man,
feels
feels
appropriate.
right. Feels right.
Yeah.
You know what? Let's just for the heck of it. If this works today, we're gonna go insane. Big Bear, Dirty Dog, and Bull. I like it. All right, let's see what happens. All right, friends. What else we have? SEDG. What is that? SE. Oh, we've seen this before. Yeah, so Solar Edge. Yeah, we saw this a couple of days ago. I really don't like this one, guys. Again, the volume, the intraday trading. I mean, look at this. Daily alone is messy. So just be careful. I mean, just be really careful. I see a couple of moves yesterday broke out. You can see that here, and then it's just not clean, man. And then look at the volume. This is a 5 minute, by the way. 1 minute is gonna look much, much worse. You're not even getting to in some of these cases, you're not even getting to 100,000 shares traded. Have you seen a stock that cannot trade 100,000 in 5 minutes? It's pretty bad, right? So, yeah, just be very careful. This is not a good one. It could have its day, it could have its breakout, and also as we say this, remember, me and Peter are looking at it from a point of view on the way we trade, right? Your strategy, this could be gold for you, right? It's trash for me, gold for you, and then some other stuff could be vice versa, right? So just keep that in mind when we're giving you this commentary. It is not a reflection on the way you trade your strategy, right? So very important. All right, let's stop here, friends. I think we have a decent list, not a blockbuster list, but we got some usual suspects here that can get going, and we'll look forward to those guys to kind of step up. Actually, let me look at one more because you did mention this one for me earlier. QBTS, you threw it very early on. Let's take a look at that one. QBTS daily. We got a breakout yesterday. Today we're just kind of hovering above the previous day close, above an area support. I don't know, man. To be honest, I mean we had a good time with this one. It hasn't been great lately. Peter, not sure if there's any news on Quantum. I mean they're kind of quiet so far.
Yeah, it has been quiet at least all this week and actually last week as well. So and no, I don't have any news on them.
Yeah, so I see QBTS is up. QUBT.
UPT. I mean, looks like they
They're
just
not down by
closed.
much. Yeah.
They
Go
just
ahead.
closed a $400 million offering, but
Mm-hmm.
I think we talked about that yesterday. But that's not that exciting from a trading
Yeah.
point of view.
All right. We'll leave it alone. All right. Well, last one, guys. We have a little bit of time. ASTS in our chat. We've seen this stock. This is the one that just kind of had a beautiful daily here, ran up pretty good, pulled back, and today we're getting some kind of breakout. How's the intraday though? The intraday, yesterday not as clean, but today's pre-market looks interesting. I look at the stock and I love the daily. I love what it's doing here. I just don't see myself making money on it. Here's like the price action, like, yeah, I
Hmm.
will lose money on this thing. This thing's gonna take my money. It's just not trading the way I would like to see a stock trade. For educational purpose, I will put it on a list, on a separate list here, not on my primary or secondary, just to go back and look at it, to see why I feel that way at the market open, right? But it just doesn't look like something that I would trade, and it could be the lack of volume. I don't know what it is yet, but it's just doesn't look right for my style. So I'm gonna put it on here, Javier. I'm not saying it's not good, but for you, but for me, it's on the silence for now. All right, friends. Not a whole lot that looks great today. We gotta admit, but we'll find something. We always do. But something that does look great every day, it is our website, bearabletraders.com. You can head on over there and you can see, if you click on webinars, you can see what's happening for the next 2 weeks. And this is always bright and shiny, not like our watch list today. So let's look at Thursday, Peter, what the schedule looks like for today.
Well, pretty I mean we have our normal sessions that are happening with our psychology. Sorry, oh my God, what? Come on. Come on. Get in the
You
game.
can do it. You can
Get your
do it.
head in
I
the
know you
game.
can do it,
Oh
Peter.
my God. Anyways, our mentorship
Peter.
sessions. Again, we got a few people who are on vacation. I keep saying again today. What is wrong with me? Anyways, uh, so okay. Whew. Calm down. We got this. We can make this happen. All right. Thor is going to be continuing with this session, despite it being a late day today, or an early close on the market. He is going to have that session. So that's happening at 8 o'clock tonight. Jared, I believe Jared's doing the option session. Jared, you need to confirm that for me. But as far as I know, that is going ahead. So we've got our session at noon with options. We've got our 1 o'clock session. Jared says, yeah. I think he meant yes. But anyways, yeah. Um, and then we have our sort of noon, 1 o'clock, and 8 o'clock. Carlos, I am struggling today. I don't know what's going on with me here, but
I know. It's one of those days. It
it is
happens.
one
It
of those
happens to
days
all of
for
us.
sure.
Yep.
My goodness. All right, we'll make it through. If you want to join us and experience people who can speak better than I can, go to bearabletraders.com. Then you can join our chat room. You can see traders trade live and actually be able to speak the English language. Uh,
Dude,
it's a
you,
great
you
place to
almost
go.
you almost made me spill my coffee when you said that. Crap.
Don't spit it out all over the keyboard. That's not good.
Oh no,
All
no.
right. Anyways, bearabletraders.com is where you can go. Everything from the intro right through to our special offer we got on now, which is your Elite Annual. Gives you 50% off that one-time payment Elite Annual deal. So check that out. Carlos, we're running fairly early, despite the fact I can't spit out a sentence to save my life.
We really are,
Because it's
yeah.
a fairly light day. Like we
Do you
said
have
at
a
the
rant?
outset.
We haven't heard a rant from you in some time. You have a
Really?
rant? No, no, we haven't heard a rant. I mean, this morning, what you explained this morning was just catastrophe with the
Hmm.
fumbling, but we haven't heard a rant from you. You have one any on deck that has
Maybe,
happened recently?
maybe. Maybe I need to. You know what I could rant about? It's one
Yeah.
of these where sometimes I still don't have my car back, and I'm really sort of annoyed by that because they I think if I just agreed up front to their ten
Oh
thousand
yeah.
dollar repair bill, they probably would have ordered the parts faster. But because I said I'm not ordering parts I don't need, the parts they did order, I think they're slow rolling it. It's over a week for delivery of parts, and then I'm not going to get my car back to the end of next week. I am not happy with the dealership here, and frankly, their service has been very disappointing to me. I brought my wife's car into the Kia, and I got like full service, brakes replaced, everything done, and we had it back in like 4 hours. Come on, man. Like
That's good.
you can do better. Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, the Porsche dealership here. I should have brought it to. I should have just gone to like a third party, but I didn't have one on deck, and it sort of it died unexpectedly with my coolant system blowing up. So I just towed it to the dealership, but I'm paying the price for it now, both in time and in actual money. So
Yeah.
so that's annoying me right now. And then of course I'm like, well, can you give me a loaner? Like I'm sitting, I have no car, I can't get anywhere. And they're like, well, we don't have any available. We'll see what we
Yeah.
can do for you. I'm like, you guys suck. Anyways, well, I'm gonna tell them.
Yeah, yeah. They caught you in
Yeah.
a bad situation, right? Didn't have time to
Well,
really think the whole process through, right? It was just unexpected. That's what
and
happens.
it's dangerous. It's a Porsche, Rogelio. But the thing is, they think because they're the only dealership in the town in Ottawa. So they sort of I believe that they sometimes think that they corner the market. The reality is though, like I will be buying another one at some time, and I don't have to buy it from them. I can buy it anywhere. So maybe I'll just go to Toronto and make a trip and buy it out of one of the Toronto dealerships because these guys
Yeah,
piss me off so much. And so you're not thinking long term here if you just be, you're just pissing off your customers here by, unduly causing problems. And their communication has been horrible. Like I have to send them. They only seem to text message me. I call, I can never get a hold of anybody. They text message me, and then I'm like, well, what does that mean? Give me an idea. Anyways, it's like always partial information. I'm just
yeah.
annoyed
That's
at this
that's
point.
a that's a bad experience, man. I gotta give it to you. That is not fun.
Yeah.
All right, there
Yeah.
we go, friends.
You wanted to rant? That's the thing that's annoying me right now. But anyways, again, and it happened to me because it was such a stark difference. Where a week and a half ago, I said the same day that my car died was it actually died on the way because I was going to drive my wife back from dropping her car off for servicing. And again, her car was back within 4 hours. Like and they sent an Uber for me. They picked me up and dropped me off. It was like
Yeah,
super easy. They made it seamless. And here I am, with the luxury car and they're just giving me a hard time. Anyways, annoying. First world problems. It's
yeah.
it's realize if this is the biggest thing I got to complain about, I really have nothing to complain
You're,
about.
you're
So
you're in
I
good shape,
acknowledge
my
it, but you
friend.
wanted to rant, so there it is.
No, I wanted one. Absolutely, you're in good shape. Um, all right, friends, let's get to it. Let's do levels, I guess. Right, we jump into levels here. We have Tesla, we have Apple, we have Nvidia, we have PLTR. Let's get some levels in place, and later we'll look at. I would love to see what our team is watching because will give me some ideas if I can add anything else to my list. So just four right now: Tesla, Apple, Nvidia, and PLTR. Let's start here with Tesla. Tesla this morning looking again good after a couple of days here bouncing. High of the pre-market at the moment is going to be 319.30. So I'm gonna just gently put a level there, 319.30 towards the bottom. I'm gonna put another level at 314. That's saying 317, but it's 314 and 92 is what I see somewhere in that area. So we'll cover that for Tesla, and then once we do that, friends, we're pretty much kind of stuck in this range. This range has been a big issue for Tesla, not a big issue, but it's been stuck in here at that 325 towards that previous day close, right? So we dip lower here. Oh, I'm not showing you guys the 1 minute, the 5 minute daily. Hold on. So we dip lower here, and then we came right back up. And now just kind of in the bottom of that range, which kind of starts around the previous day close at the bottom, and then the top of that range is going to be around 325, 326. I'm going to call it 325.82. That's you see a lot of the days just kind of slamming into each other. So for the most part, you want to have a level there. So that's good for Tesla for me. Volume is okay at 3 million, looking very nice this morning. Let's take a look at Apple. Apple also with a beautiful run over the last couple of days. Yesterday also traded very nice. The market open was just incredible. The low of the day on Apple is going to be is it just me? I'm seeing 209 as the low on the chart, Peter, right? I see this. I see 209.85, but that's showing 211. Is that just me, or do you see that as well? You see
The
the range here
low of
from
the
here to
day.
here?
Oh yeah, actually, yeah, you're right. The
Yeah,
eight,
this
the
doesn't
the,
make any
the
sense, right?
tinfoil line, like we sometimes call it,
Yeah.
209.96.
Okay.
But you're right.
Okay.
I'm seeing the low listed as 211.40. So
Yeah. Okay. So it's not just my system.
no, it's not just
Um.
you.
All right, and then the high is 213.09 is what I show. I'm gonna mark it there off the charts, right? So once we do that, we got our highs and lows there for Apple, and then if we look to the left, we got a couple of all the daily here is being noticed. We don't need to do anything towards the bottom. You're pretty set. Actually, no. There, take it back. There is a day here. 211.29, which we should mark down right over here. You see that? That's a good area there. You got a lot of days opening and closing there, so you want to note that as well. And then above the pre-market highs, you do have a couple of levels here. We're going to mark down the next big one, 214.47, and once you do that, you are all set. All right, let's take a look at Nvidia. Nvidia this morning, we are again moving higher here. Nice breakout on the 5 minute. You can see that there off the previous day close. Was in the red since 8 a.m. It's candle thing here and now sitting in the green. Let's see if it can hold this. High of the pre-market 158.47. That's matching with the range. The bottom 156, 156.59. So we'll slam one there as well. As you can see on the daily here, we got plenty of levels here hitting your all-time highs. There's nothing really to go up above that. Let's see if that can maintain a big dip in the last couple of days this week, and then great recovery yesterday. I mean, this stock is trading really, really nice. Another level here at 155.19. And once you do that, you are set. Last but not least is going to be PLTR. And PLTR, high of the pre-market, 134.52. The low of the pre-market, I am showing 132.78. So we'll slam those two there. And then on the daily, you can see plenty of stuff here, especially for the last 2 days. These levels are marked for you. You have the previous day close. Just a lot going on there. At the moment, if we go to the left a little bit more towards the top, just in case we get going, just want to have one more level. It's going to be up here, this 138.55, where a lot of days are kind of opening and closing. We want to mark that down. We already got their wicks covered right here, but let's cover also where they're opening and closing. Got a couple of days slamming their wicks on there as well. Towards the bottom, previous day close, and highs and lows for the last 2 trading days have you all set. So there it is. That's our primary list for today. Nice and tight, only 4. Peter, what is our team looking at this morning?
All right. Well, some of our team are not trading today, but those that are starting to get their list in. Thor's going to be watching Apple and PLTR, it looks like, as well as, of course, the futures contracts that he loves to trade. Jared's going to be watching the animals, the bulls, the bears, and the dogs. Which I agree with because I also have those on my list. Eamon has got a potential long on AMD that he's tracking. Mike is watching Tesla and AMD. Phil's got Nvidia, PLTR, AMD, and Tesla. Gary watching PLTR closely, and we'll see what happens there. Brian trading live from New York City. Is going to be looking at PLTR, Tesla, and Nvidia. I think Andrew's going to be trading with him. He said he would dial in. Andrew's got to get himself up. He normally doesn't do too good at waking up when he's traveling. So hopefully he does good this morning. So but anyways, we'll see him and Brian trading live in the chat room one way or the other. We'll wake him. Brian will send him down the hallway to knock on his hotel room door. So but that's what we got.
All right, excellent. I do hear Brian, but YouTube, I don't think can hear you, Brian. But he says that he's ready. He's ready to roll. So good. All right, friends. We are set. I see Brian is on, so we're gonna let him do his thing. So we'll let Brian come on in and get you guys all set up. I could leave my screen up while Andrew comes up, so I'll leave my screen up, but there will be no volume. We'll continue here on YouTube, guys. So take care, trade safe. And if I don't get to speak to you again, have an amazing July 4th weekend. Happy Independence Day to all celebrating here in the U.S. And again, enjoy your weekend. We'll see you guys on Monday. So take care. All right. Okay, let me mute Peter. I'm sorry, let me mute Bryant. All
right. Yes. I'm making this switch over, the transition here myself.
Yeah.
Trying to get everything going.
Switcheroo.
All right.
Oh, I'm here, you guys. I'm not leaving YouTube. I'm with you guys, so we'll be trading live together.
Not today.
I'm leaving the
chat room.
The chat room. Yes, there we go.
See, Carlos, maybe it's not just me. Neither you or I can find the words today. What's happening?
I was multitasking and switching things over, so doing too many things at once at that point. But I had those days, man, where it doesn't flow smoothly. I told you it's just not flowing today. It's not flowing today. The trading usually is not connected to that too much, but it definitely does affect you. It's no question. Some days are better than others.
Makes you nervous. At least it makes me nervous.
No, I get it. I get it. All right, let's bring Peter here. We got our 1 minute or 5 minute. And such a balance you have to have, right? You don't want to be too overconfident, feel too good, and think you got the Midas touch, and then you want to be too nervous and too willy nilly, where you're not taking any trades and you're not confident in your skills. It's a balance you have to have, man. Stuff is hard. This stuff is hard. It's not easy. It is not easy. All right. Yes. Happy Fourth. Happy Fourth to everybody out there for tomorrow. We'll be having family over. We'll be barbecuing. We'll be having a
I
good time.
It is amusing me having the bear, bull, and dog stock up here on my screen. So I don't know if they're going to yield
Yeah.
any trading opportunities, but it is fun.
Yeah. It sure is. There's Andrew from NYC. So he's in chat. So he's gonna be trading live with the folks over at BBT chat room with Brian. Brian's already
Yep.
there, all set up and good to go.
They'll be joining the CEO of DOS Trader, who's ringing the closing bell today. So that's sort of exciting. He gets to be there for the ceremony. I mean, it is ceremonial, right? It doesn't really mean anything, but it's fun. It's uh,
Yeah,
it's
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 fun. Yeah.
it's nice being part of that, and it's good that our community is represented, and we're right there, part of the markets now. We're a real boy.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
We can
Absolutely.
I can see you guys too. I'm waving to everybody in the chat room just because they say how they're seeing me.
Yeah.
They
I
can't hear
mean,
me.
yeah. You know what? It's probably confusing. Let me just turn it off because they're probably saying, "I go to see we can't hear you. We can't hear you." Like, yeah, of course you can't hear us. We're not transmitting to you guys. I just didn't want them to have a dark screen before Andrew came on.
Yeah. Well, it'll prompt them to get the screen
Yeah.
going.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see here. It's like sometimes you got to be careful. Like when you try to, there's certain things that you could do to be nice that are okay, and there's other things you cannot do to be nice that can turn disastrous. Right. One of them is Peter, and this happens all the time in the main road here, and you got to be very careful. Is when let's say you're in the left lane, right, and
Yeah.
you stop at the crosswalk, right? You stop at the
Okay.
crosswalk, or there's not a crosswalk, there's no light, but you stop to let somebody pass, right? Not at an actual corner with the lights. If you stop and there's two lanes, and this car coming on the right side cannot see the person crossing over, they think
Right.
you're turning or something. That's a big no-no, because then this person thinks see, they don't see the car coming, and I see it happen all the time. This car has to brake because this person just tries to rush across the street. So when I
Right.
see that, I look over. If I see a car coming there, I'm not stopping for you. I'm just gonna keep going. You gotta find a better place to cross the street at, because too many times I've seen this man. And one time, I had to honk at a kid. A kid was just walking, with his cell phone, and I'm on the other
Right.
side looking at this happen. I'm like, I'm just honking, and the car had to slam on the brakes, right? So sometimes you got to be nice, but not polite in places
Yeah.
where it can cause more trouble than good.
Right.
So
Yep.
gotta be careful. And this is costing more trouble than good. So I'm gonna turn this off. They keep asking. I can't hear. You see, if people asking, I can't hear anything. Like you're not supposed to hear anything. Now they're asking
That's right.
technical issues. Let's just cut it off. You're out of here. Oh. There it is. Have I been in a car accident? Absolutely, man. I almost died. I was almost.
Oh.
I've been. Oh yeah, I was in a bad car accident. And so I was doing 80 on 80 going eastbound, and clean roads. I mean nothing. No cars. It's like 3 in the morning. I was not drunk. I was good. I was coming over from a friend's house, and out of nowhere, man, all I saw was just brown. Just hop over. Boom! I wrecked the Venza actually. Peter Toyota Venza. I wrecked it.
So
Completely
like
wrecked
a
it. A
deer?
deer. A deer. A
Wow.
deer came and
Yeah.
wrecked the entire car. I'm in the middle lane. I stopped completely. When the guy came over, first the cop when he came over, he thought I was drunk because he saw another car, so he probably thought I hit something. The deer kind of went over me, and I left it way back there. When the cop comes over, he's like, he pushes me off the road. He's like, I could tell he's getting very close to me to see if I'm drinking,
Uh,
and like, you okay? Like, what did you hit? I hit a deer. Like, where's the deer? I'm like, I hit a deer. Probably rolled over. I'm still in shock, and you could tell he's trying to smell my breath. And I'm like, have you been drinking? Like, no, I'm not drinking, no nothing. You could check me, you do a test, doesn't matter. I hasn't been drinking. So he's like, okay, I'll be right back. He went back about 300 feet or so, and he came over. He's like, dude, you hit a deer, not just any deer. You hit like a 200-pound deer, and you're lucky as hell right now. So when the tow truck came over, he's like, dude, I pick up cars that hit that type of deer every time. Usually what happens is the hood does not open and block the windshield. If that
Right.
deer would have rolled over to your windshield, we would be picking up your body now, not you.
Oh yeah.
And I was
Ugh.
like, oh, that's scary. But it was a hard hit, man. It completely wrecked the car. It felt
Wow.
like it hit a wall. I didn't know deers were so hard like that, man. It felt like it hit a wall. So it was pretty.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a drunk deer. It was a drunk deer. Yeah.
The drunk. Yeah, the deer was
But
drunk.
Peter, the thing is, like, I'm the only. Talk about timing. I'm the only car there. It's 3 in the morning, and no time
Yeah.
to break. It's just like all I saw was just the brown come over and boom. Like, how stupid is this animal? Like, my goodness. Yeah, it was just
It
weird,
just
man. Yeah.
just had to wait 10 seconds and it would have had an open road for the next
Yeah,
half an
there's
hour.
nobody here. And he was the, you want to hear the freaky part about it? At this point, I was
Mm.
still dating my wife. And 10, like literally 10 minutes later, or not even, like 5 minutes later, she calls me out of nowhere, 3 in the morning. Hey, are you okay? I'm like, why? Like, I just have a bad feeling. I'm like, holy crap. That was scary. To this day, me and my wife are
Whoa.
like, how? It was just weird. It was just very, very weird. So I'm like, all
Whoa.
right, this is the girl I gotta marry.
Yeah, no kidding.
And it went from
She's
there.
she's
Yeah, man.
attuned to
She's a
your
keeper.
health. That's
Oh man, that
yeah.
was that was freaky. It
Wow.
was really freaky, really freaky. As
Her
yeah.
her senses were going off. That's freaky when that
Yeah, yeah.
happens.
And there was no air tags in sharing locations at that time, like there is now. So yeah.
Mm.
All right,
Well, I'm
friends.
glad you're here to tell the tale.
Absolutely, my friend. Absolutely. All
Mm.
right, guys. See what we have here. So Tesla, Apple, Nvidia. I see Andrew from his hotel room. We're getting ready to rock and roll. We didn't go
Eh,
over his list. What's his list? He
s-
hasn't put it up yet.
Speaking of living to tell the tale, Andrew says he went for a run in Central Park this morning, so he survived. That's good.
Maybe surprised, man. There's so much cops now. It's unbelievable. Maybe not at that time I
No,
didn't need
like
to go.
during the day, I think it's fine. I
Yeah,
mean, middle of the
yeah,
night, I don't know that I'd be wandering around the park necessarily, but
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Let's see
But yeah,
here.
I've been to Central Park many times, and
Yeah,
in the middle of the day, it's a park. It just seems like any other park,
yeah,
really. I mean, of
yeah.
course, I've never been. People say there's areas there's still like little forested areas, right? I've never really wandered into
Yeah,
those. Maybe that's a
there
safe
are
place to
there are
go.
areas where it's just the walkway and it's trees all over. You almost forget you are in the middle of the biggest city in the world. That's pretty cool.
Well, not quite the biggest, but a big city.
Yeah, yeah. Well, which is bigger, Dubai,
Mexico City.
Mexico City?
Mexico City's, I think, but population wise, I mean, I
Oh,
don't
well,
know.
yeah, yeah. I mean, no, who lives in Manhattan anymore, man? It's just companies.
Yeah.
You can't afford it, and so population. Yeah, I can see that, but nobody lives in Manhattan. It's a billionaire's playground. It's not. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just
Tokyo, I think, has got more population.
probably. Yeah, if you put
You
it that
got
way. Yeah, yeah.
anyways, whatever. It's still a big city, and I mean, New York. I love when I visit New York. Like it's a great city. It's always vibrant. It's lots of activity. But I have to admit, like after being there for a few days, when I go home, like I just feel tired. I'm like, I don't know how people live here all the time. Like I'm exhausted after just a couple of
The
days.
speed, the
But
speed, man. The
I guess
speed.
I'm not
Mm.
just trying to live there. I'm touristing, so I suppose that's a different perspective on the city, but still.
It's the speed. Like the speed of New York is different.
Mm.
If I go to a restaurant in somewhere else in the different part of the country, I'm like, what's taking so long? Because it's like
What's taking
I'm
so
telling you,
long?
you get used to the fast walking. It's New York Minute, man. It's real. It's real.
There you go. Okay, guys, we got about 10 seconds before the market opens. So if you've got something that you're targeting, take a look. I don't really have anything. I'm watching PLTR because it's been moving well pre-market. Nvidia and Tesla's a little choppy here, but here's the bell.
All right, ding, ding, ding,
See
ding,
what we
ding.
get. Yeah. Not gonna jump into anything too quickly myself. Usually, if Andrew says that, that's usually when he's in a trade 10 seconds later. But
He'll be in Nvidia in no time. I guarantee you that. Let me see. I'm looking over. No, not yet. Um, or Brian. Brian says, I'm gonna wait 5 minutes. And he's like, I'm taking long. This. I'm like, Brian, what happened? They're quick traders. They're quick traders. If you want to see that live, friends, you can do that. Bearwithtraders.com. You can see Andrew and Brian trading live right now. Andrew's sharing his screen live from New York. But yeah, take a look. As usual, if you
So,
guys
yeah.
know, if you're new, I wait 3 minutes for any trades. Peter might be looking for any kind of rising devil or something that he can take a short on, like maybe Apple. No, not yet. But I'll wait 3 minutes before I take my first
All
shot
right, I
here.
went long. I'm long Nvidia for a popped
Long.
all-time high. I just took
Oh.
a partial,
Whoa.
and
Okay, I like it. I like it.
well, it's Sauron. Look at the level two. There's a lot of orders on the ask. And I
Yeah.
went long.
Yeah.
Oh, it just pulled back and stopped me out. Okay, well, all right. Well, I got a little partial, and look at me
Look at you,
trading.
Peter. Long.
Uh,
Long
Yeah,
and
well,
early. That's
Nvidia was moving. I thought it looked good. I don't take a lot of risk on these, so when it pulled
yeah.
back, I just let it stop me out after
Yeah.
oh, whoa, wow. Good thing I did. Look at
You
that.
got out of it? Okay, yeah, yeah. I see that.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That is
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I can show you guys. Where's my trade? Oh, here it is.
yeah. It's tough,
Uh,
man. These first couple of
yeah.
minutes are they're fast. They're fast. It's always tell traders if you're new, avoid the first 3 minutes, avoid the first 5 minutes. They're very volatile. Then once you get more
Yeah.
experience and fast, with your execution and reading the price action, you can do whatever you want. But at first, try to build it off those couple of minutes. You saw Peter was very disciplined. He got in, got a partial, and got out. New traders won't do that. New traders will get in, they'll get a partial, and they'll be like, oh, let me see what happens. Oh, maybe it'll come back. Next thing you know, you're sitting here at 158 with a big loss, right? So that's the issue. It's the discipline and the reaction uh, that comes from experience.
Yeah.
All right, here's your trade. Yeah, that's beautiful, man. Nice partial there, and see yeah, great, 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 great.
Yeah. Oh,
Um,
yeah. It's this chart here. I don't know. You see, you're sharing it now. Real quick trade. As you can see, I was just in partial right at the top of the candle. Happy with
yes,
that,
yep,
and then just got out of break even. Said it might go higher, but my risk parameters, keep me out of trouble, and that's what I
yeah,
like, right?
yeah,
As much
yep,
as I might sacrifice gains at times, I'd rather stay out of
mhm.
trouble. So.
100%, 100%. All right, 3 minutes is up here. Let's see where some of the PLTR might be a good 5 minute RB if we can keep hanging out here at the VWAP. Let's see if that does that. Nvidia's
In
just
in
back
just
and forth.
a minor
Hmm.
bit of irony, the bear is strong and the bull is weak this morning. BBAI moving higher, bull moving lower. So
Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. BBAI. Yeah. And the bull going the other way. Uh, and what's D Dog doing? Chopping around?
and it is actually.
Kind of.
And it's a dog's breakfast.
It's
Oh
a
my
dog's
God,
breakfast, yeah.
Carlos. It's
Oh,
all playing
man.
out
What
today.
a. You could tell. Oh, and PLTR, you did it too fast. Gotta wait for us, man. Come on. Pull back. I want to take it for a 5 minute RB, but you need one more minute still. Nvidia's becoming a good short, Peter. I like it here below the VWAP. This can also be a good 5 minute ORB if we're settling down below the VWAP. Just got to be careful because it's just like you said, it just moves so fast. Let's see how this candle closes. So I'm looking at the 5 minute candle right now. Somewhat of an indecision. 5 minutes coming up in 30 seconds. It is giving us a VWAP breakdown. That's the breakthrough candle. Let's see. Might like Nvidia for a short here. We are sitting near all-time high, so that usually creates a lot of pressure to try to break to that level. So you might see some sell-off, and then can still come back up later and take over. But let's see what it does. Here's the pullback. Do we see more weakness? I think so. All right, I'm short Nvidia, guys. I like it here. 5 minute RB below the VWAP.
Yeah,
Let's see if we
there's
can get. Yeah, let's see if we can get. I don't think we're gonna get period stay close, but let's see if we can get a drop here. Oh no, don't do that. Don't go above the VWAP. We're 20 cents in. We can give it a 158.47. Okay, we'll have to get out. It's trading wild, man. I mean, it's only a 25 cents move, but it's trading very weird. Um, yeah, I don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't like it. We'll have to leave that alone for a while.
Yeah. Well, it is at all-time highs here, so it's it's untested territory.
Yeah,
So
yeah. On the five, it's
unfortunately,
looking
Andrew,
good for
I think you need to blame
yeah.
Andrew. Andrew went long against you there, Carlos.
I
So
don't blame him, man. At least here, look at it. It looks like an engulfing crack towards the top, so I don't blame him for going long
mhm.
here. Did I sell my
He's trying
units
to
to
make
him?
back.
Yeah.
He had a big loss. He
Yeah.
went long when I did on Nvidia, but he held it so and then had to get out. Whereas at
Okay.
least
Okay.
makes me feel a little bit better about my trade. At least it was quick. It wasn't, but I just I made money and I'm
This
done.
is. I don't like Nvidia, man. It's choppy. It's not trading well. We gotta let it settle down. And let's remind ourselves it is half day. People are
Yeah.
gonna start their vacation. Well, not vacation, but their holidays very early. Um, I know me and my wife got plans to have people over, so we're gonna start getting things ready. Look at
Mm.
Tesla.
Now, now I imagine, even here in Canada, Carlos, like Tuesday
Yeah.
was our Canada Day, right? It's our
Yeah.
July 4th equivalent.
Mm-hmm.
And it was I couldn't see them, but I could hear fireworks just all night. Like Tuesday night, it was
From
just
where? How
booming and
close are
banging.
you
I
to
was
the?
thinking if
Yeah.
someone has like PTSD, ever been in a war zone, like that would not have been a good night for them. Like it was
Yeah.
just booms everywhere, and I thought, geez, like normally you get fireworks, but it seemed, I don't know why, on a Tuesday, it seemed especially active
Here,
this year.
I'm telling you, I put a comment in Ring the other day. Everybody thinks there's some shooting going on now. I'm like, guys, we haven't had a shooting here in like who knows how long in the surrounding areas, right? It's just ridiculous.
Right.
Like 15 days before July 4th, and 15 days after, there's fireworks all over the place in Jersey. I mean, it's just the way it is, right? So don't go into Ring. Did anybody hear that gunshot? Like, no, no. If we're 15 days window between plus or minus around July 4th, don't put these comments. It just doesn't make any sense.
People
What we
love to
think we
blow
lived in
things up.
Compton, California? Like, what's going on with you, man? Like, no, no. Jeez. But yeah, it just doesn't make any sense. And I have no idea how Compton is now. It's just going back to some West Coast Snoop Dogg days where it was just wild. I'm sure. I have no idea. It could be the best place to live now, like Brooklyn before was was intense. Now you wish you own a place in Brooklyn. You know. So,
Mm.
oh yeah. All right. Let's see here. Let's take a look. Nvidia. I don't trust Nvidia long or short. This thing is messy, messy, messy. But if it does go short, I will try to take an opportunity on it. But Tesla is the only one that's actually doing something, Peter. What do you guys think? Anything you guys like this morning? CRCL moving circle of internet? Yeah, this is doing something. ASTS, no. Let's go through my secondary. SBET selling down. This is going to turn into a really bad day. I have a very small loss in Nvidia. Thankfully, I thought it was actually more. I looked at the price. It's only like 25 cents. I'm so used to like that on Tesla would be like $1. That move. Yeah, on Tesla it'd be like $1. Yeah, about 30 cents. So not bad. Oh, okay. Tesla short.
Does Nvidia Nvidia
I'm
is
sorry, Nvidia,
looking
Nvidia. I'm sorry, I meant
weak
Nvidia.
here. Yeah,
I'm going
Nvidia
short
is
Nvidia
looking weak
again.
here.
Let's see. This is
That's,
such a bad trade. And now that I'm in it, I'm just looking.
yeah.
This is such a bad trade.
It doesn't look bad
Ah,
though, Carlos. I think I
but it is because there's no strategy. I'm just getting it short just because I think it's going to go short. And that's not good. This is such a bad trade. But it's okay. Let's see if it works. Sometimes they do. But mm, mm, mm. This reward here might not, it's not something we want to record. Let's see. Let's see if we can get
Yeah.
below the low.
I like the look of it short. Look at all the downside orders,
Yeah.
158 and below. It,
And the 5 minute, you see the
yeah.
5 minute how it looks? The 5 minute looks, that's
I
what kind of got
think,
me into it.
yeah, I missed the entry. 158.30. I would have been comfortable
That would
getting
have been
in. I'm not
beautiful.
comfortable getting in here. There you go.
Okay, here we go.
There you go.
Now we're cooking with oil, baby. Let's go. We're cooking with gas. I don't know what the saying is, but it's one of
Cooking
those
with
two.
gas.
Cooking with
There was an
gas.
old
Okay.
ad. Yeah, it was an old
Yeah.
ad. Cooking with gas.
Sometimes I have to look up these sayings because they were from like
Mm.
again I wasn't born in the U.S., right? So my parents were not
Oh,
born here, so
okay.
we don't know a lot of the old sayings that you would normally learn
Okay.
from like your mom and your dad because they were not here.
Right.
So I'll have to Google these things. Like, why do they say as good as sliced bread? Like, what's so good about sliced bread? To me, it's just bread cut into something. Like, what? So I gotta look those up sometimes. It's so funny. Um,
Actually, don't worry, Carlos. A lot of times, we say them, we don't really know why.
yeah.
It's what
You
the
just know when
expression
to
is,
use
right?
them, right? Just know when to
Yeah.
use them, but you
Yeah,
don't know actually
exactly.
why. Yeah,
You
okay.
don't really
I
know
don't
what it
feel
means.
I don't feel too bad then.
There are some that are shocking when you actually realize what they really mean. I always
Mm-hmm.
find that
Mm-hmm.
interesting.
Yeah.
So there you go. See, I knew Nvidia looked good. I should have
Yeah, I
trusted in
did.
it, taken a short, but
Took three partials here, friends, all at 10%. I know this is very close to each other just because I don't trust Nvidia to actually stay down for long. With the way it's been trading the last couple of minutes, if we can get anything lower, would be great, but highly doubt it. Um, that it's gonna go down without a fight. And look at this here. Let's see if it can hold below 158. Another leg down, and we're good here. But look at it. Look at it. Just fight.
fight.
Where I was born in Dominican Republic. I was born there. Me and my I got three brothers. My middle my younger brother was born there, and the little one was born here.
So you were born
It's,
in where?
Dominican Republic.
Oh, the Dominican. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I thought I heard you say
Come on,
something else.
Nvidia.
Anyways, all
What
right.
you thought I said? You thought I said?
I don't know. It just sounded like a German name. I thought you said like
Oh.
Strutzenberg or something. I'm like, where's that? Anyway, I'm not sure what's happening with my brain, but
Yeah.
that's weird.
Come
Clear
on,
that's not what you
baby.
said.
It's not. It's not. Okay,
Does
maybe.
Carlos speak Spanish? Are you kidding me?
Pero ven acá,
Absolutely.
mano. ¿Cómo que se habla español? ¿Quién preguntó eso? Who asked that? Jose Cruz. He's Spanish. You could tell the last name there. But yeah, I do speak Spanish. I do. I do. You know what happens though? My writing in Spanish is not good. Um, because we came here very
Hmm.
young. But the writing, I could tell that it's not great because we came here and started learning the English language, and we just never learned Spanish grammar. Getting nervous with Nvidia here, Peter. I'm just gonna take a. I think I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's a little risky here. I mean, look, this thing could pop
I'm gonna take
hard or
another.
drop
Yeah,
hard.
let's take another
It's tough to
partial.
know.
I might
Yeah.
regret it, but I might not actually because this thing is not looking good. Yeah, I'm just gonna get out. Again,
What are we
just
looking
gonna.
at here for? I gotta call this up here. Hold on. Where is Nvidia sitting? Versus our good buddy Microsoft. Nvidia is
In and out.
$3.83 trillion dollars. Whereas Microsoft is 3.65 trillion. Wow, Nvidia's opening a gap here, almost $200 billion of valuation higher than Microsoft, which used to be in the lead for a long period of time. So Nvidia's got that crown and holding on well. Andrew's going back long on Nvidia. I think he's chasing this thing, but I don't know.
Long on what?
What? Nvidia.
Which one? You might be right now, man. It's
Nvidia.
just I'm out of it. I'm glad I
Could,
took a couple of partials here,
yeah.
but it's
Yeah.
messy.
Yeah.
It's messy. Look at Apple. Apple had a Very rough start too. Here. Let's go to the secondary. SBAT, AMD, Hood, nothing. BBAI.
CRCL, Anders watching that, trading it. It's popping up here.
I saw someone mention that in chat earlier too.
Mm.
Jose says, I know people. Yeah, that's true. There's people that are from that come here at a very, very young age and they don't learn the language. But I remember I went to school there for a couple of grades, and I came here in fourth grade. So by then, you already picked up a lot. But it's real. You lose it or use it, right? If you don't use your grammar, you're gonna lose it. So whatever you love, use it. Like Peter, he loved his Porsche. He used the hell out of that thing, and that thing is a happier Porsche than the one sitting in the showroom just crying to be
Yeah.
let out on the track. Can you see? It looks great. Might be worth a couple of thousands, right? Above price tag, but
Yeah.
crying
No.
that it's never
Crying,
been
I
on the
know.
track on a red
Never got to
line.
do what it was built for. I think that's a
Oh,
shame. These
that's a
these
sense.
showroom
Yeah,
queens, they're
yeah,
they look pretty, but it just
hmm
seems like a waste. Terrible
yeah,
waste.
yeah. I think gas cars will always be around, man. Um, I think that the feel of the engine, shifting of gears, even on automatic cars, the shifting of gears still. And I think that's always will be a thing. I think I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. I think it's eventually it'll go away, right? Because you won't have drivers anymore. You won't have people who are born into it. So
Well, yeah,
it's
I mean, there's still people commuting in horses, right? So they'll be around.
Are there? Where are people
Yeah.
commuting horses
Oh,
other
I'm
than the
sure.
Amish?
I'm sure some. Yeah, 'cause there you go. There's still some people commuting in horses. So
Well,
I think
well,
cars will be around.
we'll have the like the car equivalent of the Amish now. People out
There
there
you
hanging
go.
onto their old internal
Absolutely.
combustion engines,
Yeah. Yeah.
living with their
100%.
non-smartphones.
100%, man.
Or
100%.
maybe they'll actually have phones. They'll have phones as opposed to the brain implants that'll become commonplace
Yeah.
in the
His
years
iPhone
to
will be
come.
like the older thing. Yeah. POTR friends coming to the VU app. Oh, Andrew's on. He's doing his thing. What did he trade here? Circle of Internet got him going. He's pumping his arms there. Good to go. Very, very nice. POTR friends, break out the VU app here. Let's see if we get the pullback and if we can take advantage of it here. Let's see how it goes.
Andrew's cheering for an all-time high here
Oh, he is.
on
That's what he's
Nvidia.
doing.
Yeah, yeah.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Yeah, he had. I hope he ends the day very green. Um, it'll be good to end the day very green and go to Nasdaq and feel amazing.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good. I'm looking at PLTR. Possible breakout here. Here's the pullback. Next candle in just 8 seconds. See what it wants to do. Not indecision candle. Not technically a pullback, but indecision candle. Oh, I hesitated just because of this candle here wasn't really. I don't know. Not sure. Wasn't really a pullback. I'm taking too long.
The LTR pushing back above the VWAP
Yeah.
here. Oh,
Taking
you're
too
already
long.
watching that. All right, there you go.
Yeah, I am.
Uh,
But I took too long, man. I had 3380. I could have had 3378 on this thing. Wow. Oh. That's a little painful there. That was a little painful. Wow, what happened?
Carlos.
Dude, this is like my trade. Like this is like my trade of trades. Oh man. This candle threw me off. Like this indecision thing here. Like it wasn't really a pullback. Like I guess it was. I don't know. And it's gonna go. It's going towards the high of the day. You're a dollar in. Oh my goodness. All right. Please somebody tell me you took this trade. I just walked you through it. Please tell me you took it. Man, 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 man. So clean. I mean, it's just so clean.
It's hurting
Okay,
you, is
Peter.
it?
Well, where's Peter's sign? No, this one burns a little because it was too clean.
Oh,
I
okay.
just, just
Which you want the digital one or
yeah.
the
No,
physical
give
one?
me the physical one is the one, man. That's the
Here it
one
is.
right at.
Here you go.
There it
This is
is.
for you, Carlos.
Oh
There you go.
boy.
That's just for you,
Yeah.
Carlos.
Look at that.
Take
Look
the
at
damn
that.
trade.
Take the damn
I
trade.
gotta. We have to replace my name with your name there at the bottom,
Yeah.
but I'll have to. I'll put a little tag over that.
We'll have to. You can put a sticker when it's my turn. You put the sticker on it. Oh man! Wow.
Yeah.
All right, friends. It is what it is. We'll find something. Um, don't look at the Swiss screens. Yeah, no, I don't want to chase it here, but I think it's gonna go, man. It looks good, and PLTR does this all the time. So
Just for
yeah.
Carlos. There it is on the screen.
Ah, here you go. Dun dun dun. I think I have that saved somewhere. I just gotta put it on a on the stream deck button here, so I gotta do that. Oh
Uh,
man, no. Just
Carlos is in like
stick
physical pain over there.
stick the knife in me. Just twist it, turn it, dig it deeper. Wow. I gotta stop looking at this thing. Oh man, this
See, and,
was
and this is what happens after you're trading for a while. It's the trades not taken that actually hurt
right.
more than the losses. A loss,
Yes,
you're like,
yes, yes,
okay,
yes.
I
It
had the
happens.
setup.
Yeah,
It didn't work. Those are just the odds.
yeah,
They're not all
yeah,
going to
yeah.
work. But the ones you don't take, because that's totally on you,
You messed
right?
up, right? That's something. Great point, Peter. Like you have to be able to be good at the stuff you can't control. You can't control what happens after you're in it, win or lose. But this is under my control. There was no reason for me not to be in this trade. Everything looks good. I mean, wow, look at that. And you got almost $2 out of this thing, $1.50 at least. Yeah, so
Carlos.
burns a little bit. All right, let's No, I
It
agree, Yama.
burns.
You can take every trade, right? So like if I'm flipping around going from trade to trade to trade to trade, you can do that, right? But when I'm watching something like this, I'm calling it out. I'm like, okay, here's the breakout, here's the pullback, here's the entry. I'm telling myself I'm taking too long and I still don't take the trade. That's not good. That's not good. All right, let's find something else. Or not. Let's just see what else is happening. Look how just bad Nvidia is. Like a little breakout to 158, right back to the way up. This is just nasty, guys. Um, I'm glad I came out break even on this thing. Actually, no, a little bit red, $50 red, just because we didn't cover the entire 30 cents here. But that's not bad. $50 red on this, so no, it's not bad. Could have been beautiful if it would have broke down. Would have been really nice. Um, Tesla. Tesla's also bad. Tesla's having a really nasty day as well. Andrew took this trade. Dude, look, Andrew did take PLTR. See? Why I didn't follow him? He took PLTR, partial, partial, partial. He's still in it, and it's gonna go higher. Oh, great trade, Andrew. Great trade.
I'm talking on mute. No wonder you can't hear me.
Oh, you are? Okay.
Think, think of how happy you'd be right now for Andrew to come on and tell you how you were copying him.
Oh, I'm telling you, I don't look at, I do look at his trades, but I don't look at it
I
sometimes.
know.
But I feel great when I enter a trade, he took the same trade or vice versa, because I'm like, okay, I have an experienced trader for how many years, best trader in the world, that I had the same idea he did. That feels awesome, you know. So, and then he'll say, "Oh, you copy me." We're like, "I'm not copying you." uh, I stopped copying a long time ago. It just doesn't work.
Yeah.
Doesn't work. I forgot about Apple. Mohammed, I was watching it here. It didn't start off too good. But then yeah, then it did have a nice run here. I gotta say that, and that's actually a great 5 minute ORB. Plus, you got the previous day close breakout because this is your 5 minute range there off the wicks. That's it right there. So it's a good breakout. But you had to be been watching, right? So yeah, I missed it. For the VWAP breakout, why do you wait for the pullback? Sarah, great question. That's just the strategy, right? And the only way I could tell you why is how many times we see this. Oh, perfect example right here. Look at this one here, right? I wait for three things. Look at the breakout. Look at the pullback. Where is your confirmation candle, right? You don't. I used to before. I used to get in right in here, and then this will happen, right? Used to get it right in here, and then this will happen, right? So two things gonna happen. We gotta get the confirmation, you gotta get the pullback, and you gotta get the continuation, which is this move right here. There's a reason for that. It's gonna prevent you from getting stopped out here, here, and so many times we've seen that same false view at breakout. So it's important to get the breakthrough, the break to the candle, the pullback, and then the confirmation. That's where I'm going long. Yes, I'm not gonna have the best entry because of that, but the likelihood of it working out is a lot higher, much higher. So and you guys seen it, right? You stick around long enough, you're gonna see me say, okay, we're doing, here's the breakout, here's the pullback. Oh, it kept pulling back. Okay, we're not getting in this one, right? We see it all the time. So we prevent ourselves from getting stuck in those. Here's hood at the V up as well. Let's see if hood is looking to break out. So here's the breakout candle. And then in some cases, it just goes. Like it doesn't, and that's okay. I'm not mad at those. Like I am Peter, so Peter hit this on the head. This is it's more painful this one here when you know everything is right than one like for example hood that breaks the VWAP and then just never gives you a signal but keeps going all the way to 150. I don't care about that because that's not my strategy. But when it is your strategy, you're watching it, you didn't take it. That's not good.
Yep. Those ones hurt.
Yeah. So let's see. Hood is pulling back here. And let's see if we get the pullback and we get the confirmation on the next candle. See if that happens. I'm also somewhat. I'm ready for like holiday mode, man. I'm ready. This is Friday. I'm ready. This is
you got the cooler filled and the
not
the
yet. That's
barbecue,
exactly what
the
I'm gonna
grill
do.
ready to go.
That's what I'm gonna do today. I'm actually thinking of buying a new grill. My grill's pretty beat up. So since we have a lot of people over, one of the rails just doesn't. No matter how good I clean it, one of the rails just doesn't get enough gas. I guess so. It's like it's not heating evenly with the rest. So, looking at hood, friends. Let's see. See this pullback. Here's the confirmation candle. If we can get above 95, I like to ask at 95. Oh, we're struggling. Yeah, let's go. Go hood long 95 here. Let's see if we can get the breakout. The ask looks great. Oh, come on, keep going. Keep going. Let's see if we can get the push. There it is. Nice ask at 95. Struggling again at 95. Let's see if we can get going. Failed. Failed. Let's see if we can hold it. Stop loss 94.40-ish. We don't want it. If it goes here, the likelihood of it working out are not strong at all. So let's see. 94.40. And it doesn't look like it's gonna break out here, friends. Let's see. See if we can hold. Man, the level 2 looked so bullish, and then they all just disappeared. They all went elsewhere.
They all went elsewhere.
Yeah, where do you guys go? 94.40. I'll be out of this trade. Fingers on the hotkey. If buyers don't come in here, it's gonna go lower. 94.40. So we're right on it. It looks like this is a VWAP rejection. We're trying. And the reason for this area here, friends, is you see this here? This is like this resistance area that we had. I expect this to become support, right? If it doesn't happen, then you're going to probably just slam down to like 94, right? So that's the reason I picked 94.40. So it's just a couple of cents here off on my entry. But this is an important candle. If this candle cannot get above the VWAP, I'm probably going to get out before we even get to 94.40 because that just means the VWAP could be a false VWAP breakout. Wow, look at POTR. Yeah, just 100, just 135.50. That's all. Just just a nice little pop there on POTR. My goodness. That's just a $2 move.
I'm
Brutal,
hearing some
brutal.
weird
What'd you
stuff
hear?
there.
You say you heard something, Peter?
Yeah, it's coming from the chat room.
Oh. Did you get a new grill? You mentioned to me that your grills you get it every 3 years. You use it, then you get disposed of them, right? Instead of getting a very expensive grill, you just get a decent one. It just kind of change every couple of years.
I just got one this year, just about a month ago. I got it
Okay.
and I'll set it up. And I bought the exact same grill that I bought last time, but I just usually buy like I don't buy the cheapest. Like I can't buy myself like a Walmart super cheap grill because
No,
they just
yeah,
look crappy. They look crappy. You got to have one that at
yeah,
least
yeah,
looks decent because
yeah,
then
yeah,
you don't want to be embarrassed by it, at least in my opinion. But
yeah.
but I also
I'm
don't
out of hood,
like
by the way. Out
yeah,
on hood.
okay.
Yeah, yeah. Go
But I'm
ahead.
not buying like a Napoleon, like $2,000, $3,000 grill. I just can't fathom spending that amount of money.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
just so I just buy, sort of a mid-range, few $100, and then when it dies, you buy a new one. Probably not the
yeah,
most efficient, but the scrap metal guys come and collect it from you at the end of the driveway and do whatever
yeah.
they do.
Actually, I gotta put mine out. So they could start. I probably won't do it now because it's the holiday. I probably missed the opportunity to do that, so I'll probably tuck it in somewhere. Yeah, today I'm looking to go pick one up. A Timu Guru? Absolutely not. Absolutely not, man. If there's
I
something
love
can blow up, no way.
that.
Hell no.
Uh,
No, no, no. You're out of your mind.
that was a definitive answer. Nvidia up at
Yeah,
all-time highs here.
I see that. Yeah, I see that. I see that. Nvidia. Oh man, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
Wow, there was a retest on Nvidia at the VWAP.
Hmm,
It,
hmm.
hmm, yeah, I don't know, not my trade, but
Yeah, yeah. I see a tray here. Apple, Tesla above the VWAP. Been choppy. Though. I don't trust it as much. PLTR was my trade today. Let me stop looking at that. SBET. Just going cycling through the
poor,
list here.
poor Carlos.
Yeah, it's just man. BBAI. It's funny, even on Hood, like this was on my secondary list. I took this trade. It was a great setup, but it's like okay, this I had a feeling it can actually lose. On PLTR, the feeling was so good. I still didn't take the trade. Ah, wow, D Dog Peter.
And I don't know, Carlos, I've been trying to figure out this within my own psychology. There are
Yeah.
times where it's absolutely a perfect trade, and I don't take it. And afterwards, I look and I say, I can't tell you why I didn't. And I'm starting to wonder if it's just too good, like my brain says it's too good to be true. Like, what's the catch? And sometimes there
Oh,
isn't a catch. It literally is just a perfect setup.
yeah.
And I don't know.
Yeah, that could be it, man. Because
And
we're used to
maybe
thinking, hey, if it's too good to be true, it's probably a trap.
right.
You know?
But I can't
Yeah,
find the trap. So I'm like, oh, I better not enter the trade. But maybe there isn't a trap. It really was just a good setup. Like sometimes they
yeah.
do happen as pretty as they are in the textbook. So
That's
anyway,
good. We're gonna have
not
to
often,
bring
but every once in a
we're gonna have
while.
to bring you to the Wednesday with Dr. V. How many of you guys enjoyed
Yeah.
Dr. V yesterday? She was awesome, man.
Yeah.
She was really, really good. So if you guys liked that, I
He
think
was
Thor's gonna bring
preaching.
her back. Yeah, next I know when she was on like, oh yeah, that's I do that. I've done that before, been there. She was great. She was great. So um yeah, if you guys missed you can watch yesterday's recording and yeah, she was awesome. She was awesome.
Yeah.
That's a good point, Peter. Though, yeah, like if it's too good to be true, it's a trap.
It's got to be a trap,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
I don't know.
Never thought about that. How are you guys doing in chat today? Who's leading the way this morning? Let's take a look here. Who do we have on the leaderboard for top members on YouTube? Master J, 150 points. Team BBT is right on there. Ozam is right on here, number 3. Good buddy Ben. We got the rest of Sabright always on here. Haley. Nice, nice. A lot of familiar, usual suspects in here. Kevin, good buddy Kevin.
Yep.
Nice guys, good to see you here. CFC's been with us for years, Peter. Years on YouTube. I think since we started. So always good to see you, my friend. That's a handsome kid. That's you. That's your kid, Andrew, or that's you? That's a handsome kid there. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Very photogenic. Love it. All right. Let's see here. What do we have? What do we have? Walden says, "Told you don't need to watch Dog." D-Dog, yes, D-Dog is awesome today. Haven't taken a trade yet. Top 5 get a free membership. Yeah, we didn't give a free membership yesterday because Andrew has to run to catch his plane. And today he's not in his regular setup, so he doesn't have the little. I don't think he has the little tool that that's the thing he runs. I don't know what program that is. I think he has that in his house or his office computer. He got 2 computers, one at home and one in his office. I don't think he has it in his laptop. Highly doubt it.
Oh my goodness. All right. Nvidia pushing higher. Look at it go now. It's not moving fast, but it's going. Datadog,
Yeah,
the D dog
yeah.
is
D-Dog is
moving too.
gone. Gone. D-Dog, look at that. Look at that, friends. All right, so I'm sitting small red today. 3 trades so far. Right, we had Nvidia short, stopped out. Short again, made our money back, but it didn't cover 50 or so. About $48 didn't cover there. So again, that's break even. And then our red trade is here on Hood. Hood broke down. So small red so far today, but I haven't seen any other opportunities. Like nothing has looked decent. Nvidia finally broke out after being so messy. Did Andrew join this party on Nvidia? Did he?
I don't know if he joined this final party. I don't think he's in it.
I know he was
Let's
he was
see here.
trading it. Gave him a
He
hard
was
time.
earlier.
Yeah, I'm looking at his
Paris
screen
took
now.
D-Dog. Look at Paris trading
Nice.
D-Dog.
Oh, so Paris does trade something other than Nvidia and Tesla.
He does.
Look at that. Good. Took it a VWAP breakout. Beautiful. AMD at VWAP. Yeah, I see that. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't look as clean. It's just still consolidating like right on here, right? So I don't know.
Yeah.
Then you got another area of resistance. The previous day closed. There's a lot going on here for AMD. Not saying it cannot work out, but it's not the most ideal setup. Hood looks gonna break down. Hood is gonna break down. This could be a good scalp, but it's not enough volume. Like this would have been a great scalp down to like 93.20, 93. I don't know, the volume doesn't seem to be there on Hood. I don't know. To get a quick flush, I wouldn't trust it. Does look weak though. BBAI above VWAP. Bull not doing nothing. D-Dog is just unreal, friends. Walden is taking advantage of that. Over in chat, Paris also doing some stuff there.
I'm still look at this Nvidia. I'm just watching Nvidia go with.
Yeah.
I'm just like I'm enthralled, enthralled. I tell you.
uh,
And the D Dog. My goodness.
yeah. I want to take another trade, but I don't want to force it because I had a great day yesterday. So my week is looking really good. Like yesterday was awesome, and one big trade on Apple, and that was really really nice and so clean.
So how did Andrew manage to make money? Andrew managed to make money on Nvidia despite all this crazy trading. It's
Yeah,
amazing. It's
awesome.
amazing.
Yeah. Friends, if you haven't done so already, hit that thumbs up over on YouTube. We appreciate it. We are sitting at 266 with 998 people watching. That's awesome. Can you imagine a room of 998 of us trading live? That would be awesome. That would be awesome.
I mean, like a physical room.
Like a
Like
physical
we're all
room.
sitting together. Yeah, that'd be
998
a
people
lot.
with their stations. But we need the most powerful AC in the world to keep everyone cool. With the brain power being used,
We
plus
would.
the computers, yeah, that'll be something. One day, who knows? Maybe we could rent out the Dallas Maverick Stadium. We could middle of the country, everybody could fly there. Should be an easy place to get to. Um, you know, we could make this happen. But friends, really appreciate it. I know, in all jokes aside, we really appreciate you guys hanging out with us. I mean, that is awesome. 900. We usually get a thousand of you guys in here. That is amazing. And again, for us, as we end this week, really appreciate being live with you guys. It's pretty cool. It has become part of our routine, really, as far as trading goes. So,
Absolutely.
we
God,
appreciate it.
Nvidia, here we go. 160. It's on deck. See if it can hit.
That the what's the all-time highs?
Oh yeah, it's at all-time highs right now. So all of this is uncharted territory, Carlos. All day we've been
Yeah,
hanging out in rarefied air. So here for Nvidia.
yeah,
So
and D
it's going to
Dog.
be a good long weekend for Nvidia.
Yeah,
You know who's wearing a leather jacket.
that's right. He sure is all weekend. Go to sleep with the
All
leather
weekend,
jacket if I was
exactly.
him.
Yeah,
Forget
you
that.
know it.
Look at D Dog. D Dog is rocking. Walden, are you in this? Are you in this? Walden Singh. Hope you're in it. Melanie, the most we've seen at a time is 1100. 1100 viewers at a time. Usually Mondays. People, I guess, for the weekend they miss trading. They all rush in to see what's happening. Kind of catch up for the week.
Mm.
So Monday we get our
God.
biggest viewership, but yeah, it's awesome. It really is. Really enjoy hanging out. Like if this ever ends and I have to trade, trading will not be the same for me. Like if, we should close up shop. Say, hey, we had enough. This was fun. It would be boring. Like I'll be sitting here without talking to someone. I don't know if I could do that, Peter. We have to. Me and Peter are gonna have to do a conference call to be able to trade
Well, you have
again.
to set up,
Yeah,
just set up your own
yeah,
little YouTube. Just talk to yourself, just pretend that
exactly.
everybody's out there.
That's it. That's it.
But yeah, we could
Um.
do a little conference call. Well, we got the Zoom call going. We'll just,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
just do that.
Absolutely. Um. All right. Nvidia pushing higher, trying to get to 160. Let's see if it can. Apple pulling back a little bit. Tesla trying to break out above the VWAP here. At least did break out. Let's see if we can get the continuation. It has been choppy all day. I mean, look at this chop on Tesla. Every candle, not every candle, most candles overlapping the previous candle. This has been pure chop here. It's not, again, breaking out above the VWAP, but really, the VWAP just kind of caught up to where the price action has been chopping around, right? So it just happens to be somewhat of a breakout. Do we trust it? I probably don't. But again, you're seeing a move here. But the rest of the market's doing pretty good. So OTR, great move here. SPET nothing. AMD turn around the other way. did break out from the previous day close and the VWAP, so good stuff there. Um, and let's see. Hood looks like it wants to break the low of the day. It's back at it again. This 5 minute looks very interesting. I'm inclined to dabble in Hood. Sure. For the break of the low of the day.
Oh my God, what's going on here? Where does this come from?
Let's see. Let's see. I want to try this trade, but I'm just not sure. What does the daily look like? Oh, stock is strong. Do we see a breakdown? I don't know. Just looking at Hood, I mean, I like the setup here. Just look at the support that we got there. I just don't know if it's the day. Once I looked at the daily, it kind of scared me. This thing is strong. It could be just pulling back here and it could actually take off and head higher. It's really strong on the daily. Um, 93 would be nice from here, but I'm just not sure we can get it. Peter, only one trade for you, right? The Nvidia long at the open.
Yeah, just that tiny little trade. I'm watching Nvidia now. It looks like it's topping here, but I am not ready to short it ahead of 320. Look at all the orders to the top side. Like it's I think it's actually gonna have trouble breaking 160, but
Yeah,
it's just too strong to short. So
yeah,
I'm sort of stuck in the, just watch and wait mode.
yeah, yeah.
Mhm. It's very exciting though. Nvidia
I think Hood is gonna
making
break
history.
down. Let me try
Yeah, it
this. I
looks
might
like it,
I might
but
regret this, but I think Hood is gonna break down. I'm sure Hood at 94 here, 93.80. Let's see if it's gonna break down. Um, I don't want to go see it above the VWAP here. Let's see. Let's see if it's going to lose this level here. Um, but yeah, Peter, as you were saying, Nvidia, I think it's gonna if it struggles, you're gonna have a nice flush, and it might actually get to VWAP. So might actually get down to VWAP on Nvidia. All right, so let's see if Hood we can get 93.27 will be awesome. I just feel like Hood is probably gonna give some back today, so who knows? Or this can also gotta look at the other side of the coin. This can also be gray support, and I'm actually getting in where people are probably looking to take it long back to VWAP, right? So this gotta see which way this thing wants to turn here. Where's my stop loss? 50 cents. We'll give it 50 cents. So 94, actually less. No, 94.50. Just below the VWAP here. I don't want to see it go above that. Um, we'll see. We'll see if it can push lower. Oh no, it looks like it wants to go higher. Yeah, this is my icon
yeah.
support. This might be actually a reversal. Um, and the moving averages are turning on me, so yeah, this is not a good setup. I really thought it was gonna break down here, but it is a strong stock. Even though we're down 3.8, the daily on this thing is really strong. So, uh, let's see if Hood can sell off. All right, 94.50. Yeah, I gotta get out. 94.50 will be out of it. Let's see if the if the VWAP can act as resistance, keep this thing down, but it doesn't look like it. 5 minute looks like it's going the other way. Let's see. Let's see.
Nvidia,
Oh,
look,
Nvidia.
Nvidia did it.
Yeah,
Yeah, punched
it
through.
did. It. Oh man, look at that. As Paris says, boom. You guys heard Paris say boom? It's a
Yeah,
beautiful thing.
that's his thing.
That's his thing. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, it's all about the boom.
That's right. Right. That's right. Let's see. Man, it's going. It's going. Nvidia is going. Hood is trying to do some stuff here. So again, I just don't want to see it go below the VWAP. Not below. Sorry, above the VWAP. Look at Nvidia go. Wow, making history. OTR back down. Hood is. I don't know if it's gonna break down. They might come back to this same area again. Like this is a strong level. That's why I went short. Like to see if we break this, we could probably get a nice flush to 93.20. Just don't know if it's worth the risk. And this will be my last trade. I feel like I'm forcing it. Like I'm not taking really quality trades. The last two have not been. Actually, no, I can't say that. The first one was okay, but this one's not a quality trade at all. Let's see here. Where is? PTR like a mountain pass.
Wow,
Deep
Nvidia
dog like
hit
a
the
mountain
160
pass.
and it's still going.
Yeah, 60-40. That's not stopping here, man. Not stopping. Friends, we are just 46 likes away from 400. That's our goal every day. We get 400, we're happy as heck. So help us there. Just 46 of you more. Got to trip over that button, slam that thumbs up, and we really, really appreciate it. It helps us out a ton. So thank you for that, and I appreciate everybody that has slammed that thumbs up button. As we're waiting for Hood here to deliver something, let's see if it can sell off. Yeah, trade FTX. I did notice that too. It's really hard to sell when a lot of things are so strong. I just feel like this thing is ran up so much. There might be some profit taking. I mean, if you look at the daily, you know, maybe there's a quick sell off. I don't think it's gonna sell off like a whole bunch, but I think maybe retest the low of the day would be nice, right? But we'll see. It's taking way too long here, and now we're actually seeing buyers show up to the party. And look at this level. It's just this level continues to hold. So I might jump out of it here for a couple of cents loss.
Now look at people piling in on the downside orders. Oh my goodness, what's
Nvidia.
gonna Nvidia's yeah, it's got a lot of attention right here. So
Yeah.
what's the RVOL on Nvidia? 124%. So it's not as big as I would have thought for an
Yeah.
all-time high, but
Yeah.
still.
Long hood. I don't know. Preparing for war. I wouldn't get long or short, man. This thing is ugly. Now that I'm in it, I'm watching the price action like step by step. This is messy. But again, eh, definitely not a short because I'm sure it's not looking great. So it doesn't mean it has to be a long, but long probably has a better opportunity than my short right now.
Look at Nvidia go.
Yeah, man,
Wow.
it is on fire.
Amazing.
It's 161 coming up. Here's 94.50 again on Hood. Let's see if it's gonna continue to act as
61.
support.
Yeah.
So let's see
Jesus.
here. Yeah, Hood is messy, man. Hood is so bad. Look, why? Look at that sell off. You see that sell off on Hood? Makes no sense. I mean, I like it, but it makes don't trade this stock, man. You know what? This stock is so bad. Like if you went long here, you just got dropped on for no reason. I mean, it's not a huge move, only 40 cents, but it just comes out of nowhere. Like why is it trading like this? Good volume, maybe some news. No, I doubt that's news related, but it just came out of nowhere with some good volume here. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Trade Canada. I'm looking for the a break of the low here. So this support level down towards the low of the day. Again, not one of my typical strategies, but I do notice though when a stock is weak like this and it's trending down, if you could break the low and it'll just slowly just grind lower and lower, it could be really profitable. But it takes time. It's a whole different animal than what we do first thing in the morning. It takes time, and I don't normally trade this type of stock. But again, look how choppy it is, right? We're back at this area again where I got in. We're back at break even, but this has been a very tough area. I'm looking for this breakdown here, at least to this area. And we're just not getting it. We're just not getting it. So, as Nvidia's going for 161 again. Nvidia doing this thing. Yeah, I don't trust Hood long or short. As I said, it's really messy. After looking at it, after being in it and looking at it now, it's just not ideal, man. But at the moment I'm biased. I want it to go down. Want it to go down. And hit 93.20 is our low. 93.26 is the low of the day. I was short Tesla and close at 336. Good. Microsoft did a breakout. Retest 498. Might go to 500. This market, right, guys? This market is just it is nuts. Tech stocks are just they find a way. They find a way. I got the idea of long Hood, but got out. Yeah, it's just not good right now. Long or short, man. Right? It's making lower highs. Where lower highs on what time frame? Right? That's important. What time frame are you seeing, and from what time to what time? Because that will determine a lot. Like right now, I see it on the weaker side. So we're going right back to this level below the VWAP. So I don't know. It's stuck in a range, right, Jasmine? That's what it is. Hood is stuck in a range right now, and unfortunately, I'm at the bottom of that range, which is not good.
This is
You're looking to
hard
take
to do.
short Nvidia, huh, Peter?
I really do want to, yeah.
I feel the energy, baby. I feel the energy of the back and forth mental pool happening here.
You feel it, eh?
I feel it.
It's
Yeah.
like
Oh yeah.
it looked like a good trade, but taking a trade just below the whole dollar is hard. Even it's 161. Anyways,
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
if this thing pulls back hard.
And it's such a strong
Now
stock,
I'll be
man. Like
upset. I know.
this is it can go wild
Now,
here, man.
now, Carlos, I have a meeting with one of my charities here at 10:30.
Yeah, go for it, man. I'll
So
cover until Thor gets back on, or gets
yeah,
on because I know
I
Andrew's out.
hate.
Yeah, go for it, man. Go for it. No
Okay.
worries. You cover for me
All
and
right. Well,
AJ, so I appreciate it. Yeah, no
well,
worries.
no worries. Everybody out there, have a good rest of your day. It's not an easy trading day, but we didn't expect that, right? On these short days, like I told you, it tends to get choppy quick. I said often, the price action movement stops probably about half an hour from now. So,
Yeah,
but it
yeah,
might last longer, the good movement. We don't know. There's only been a few things that have been moving well, but a lot of stuff that's been choppy. So, whatever you do, be cautious out there. I'm just sitting on my one tiny trade, and hey, if that's all I get today, then that's all I get. You know,
yeah,
Monday will come soon enough. So, enjoy your long weekend, Carlos. Have a lot of fun.
yeah.
Good luck with the new barbecue,
Yes, I'll let you know how it
assuming you get
goes.
one. All right, we'll hear about it Monday.
All
All
right,
right,
sounds
take care,
good, man. Have a
everybody.
good one.
Later.
All right, excellent. All right, thank you, Peter, man. Always a pleasure trading with our good buddy Peter. Yeah, we'll stick around here. Again, still short Hood. Just watching on the screen. Here's just dabbling, just on the bottom of chopping around here a little bit. So we'll see if it can break down. I'm looking for 93.26 if we can do it, but I don't know. It's a little messy. Apple, Tesla. Tesla broke down pretty nice here. Good. Yeah, right. I do, Ben. You're absolutely right. I do. I do. Apple, Nvidia, PLTR. Just cycling through the list here, see what stuff has done. SPET. This is our secondary list here. SPET, AMD, Hood. We're still short on this thing. Again, this is the level. This is the tough level here. This is the one where we kind of been holding. Right. I'm just slightly above this area where I'm looking to break out of, but we're clearly been stuck in this just up and down range. The range got tighter. Tighter and tighter. Notice that as I draw the line, right? See how tighter the range got. Still keeping this support. And we just want to see a flush. Come on, give us 93. We'll be happy. That will cover this loss and probably the other loss as well on Nvidia. So we'll be sitting pretty if that happens. Let's see if it can do that. But it to me again, it looks messy, but if I had to pick a side, I think it looks bearish, right below the VWAP. The way it's been trading. Let's see where it goes. All right, okay, here we go. Want to be a little patient. Made me wait this long, Hood. I'm gonna be patient and take as much as I can from you, if that's possible. If the market would allow it. Let's see. Who wants this crown? Too much work. Ben, you're fighting for the crown. It is. It's a lot of work. And then watch somebody come in and bet like $1. Donate like $1 and they'll get like 500 points. Like I bet it. What was it like? I donated like $10 and it gave me like almost 700. Like, oh, that's not. Yeah, you know. They do that work if somebody comes in. In fact, I'm gonna see what does $1 give me if I buy a super chat. What does a buy a super chat? Oh, $2 is the minimum. Is that what it is? Can I just? I guess $2 is the minimum. Oh, and you could do whatever you want. So here it is. So somebody comes, you do all that work, responding and being active, and then somebody comes in and says, "You know what? We're gonna just push you around a little bit. Can I buy $1? See what $1 looks like. You could do $1. No, I'm not. I want 93.26. I want to be patient. So no partial yet. I want to be a little patient with this Hood one. What is this? Okay, seriously, are people donating $500? I mean, it's for charity. I get it, but I mean, who's donating $500? What kind of channel is getting $500 per super chat? Is that even? I see 20. I can see that. I've done 50. Actually, I've done 100. I've done 100 here when we were donating to when Andrew was matching. Yeah, 500 is nuts. Well, it depends, right? Because Andrew was matching the donations, right? At one point, we were doing donations, and whatever you guys donated, Andrew matched that, right? We had a charity of the month that we used to use. All right, there is 23. Let's put this aside. We'll do this in just a second. 23.95. I'm sorry, 23.25. Excuse me. So we're short Hood here, guys. This is working out pretty nice. After the try long above the VIA failed, and then since then it's just stayed below the VIA. So now we're seeing a beautiful short here, and I think we might. I think there's more downside. I really think this is just. It's been up so much. I think we're gonna see like a little trickle down effect here. Jasmine, you saying 91? What do you guys think this is going to get to? 91? What other numbers you got? Someone has 93.10. What else? We'd love to see what you guys got there. Cherry. No, yeah, you don't like cherry, Walt? Oh no, man, we did it. I mean, 1 month we did $4,000. We did $4,000 for charity, and Andrew matched another 4, so we gave $8,000. Yeah, that was pretty good. It was pretty good. I mean, yeah, listen, tax deduction for Andrew's businesses, right? I mean, it helps, but you gotta give, man. You gotta give. You gotta give. You gotta give. So, I don't know how many of you guys do this, but I do now. You know, at first, back in the days, page to page, you can't do stuff like this, right? But once you get in a good situation, you can actually. I seen the charts where it's like, oh, was it 50%? You know, 20%, 30% of your income should go to these places. So I took the 20% of save, and I did 10% save, and then 10% thank you. And thank you will be like, you know, donations. I send money here, send money there. Somebody needs help, will come out of that bucket. You start doing that, you'd be surprised how your finances automatically become much better. I I'm telling you, you know, and I come from a religious background. You know, I do my 10% to the church and all that. You know, because that's I was raised that way. But it's real. I'm telling you, if you're struggling financially, try this. It is the real deal. So it helps a ton. It's like the more you give away, the more comes back. And I know it sounds what do you call it? It sounds a little wishy washy, whatever you want to say, but it is a fact, my friend. The more you give away, the more it comes back, right? So don't be greedy. Don't be greedy. Money's meant to be, given, thrown. It's not meant to be kept and held. You know, obviously have your savings, have a 6 month backup, right? In case something wheels fall off, right? You're able to be okay. Have your retirement plan, have your insurance plan, have all life insurance, have all that stuff in place. But have that percentage where you just give, just give it away. It's so important, so important. Partial at 92.50, friends. You guys said 93, 92.50. Okay. Somebody says no, it hasn't kissed 92 yet for me. 92.34 so far. All right, let's go back to the real business. So yeah, no, we were Walden. Believe it or not, we were doing it, and actually, you could have went to those charities, and you could have checked. Our name would be there. You know, they'll send us email call. Thank you so much for this donation. You know, and it was nice. It was nice. We should do that again. It's it's easy to collect the money. It's more hard work to donate to these people because they got their procedures. I'm like, just take the money, man. Just take it. You know, but you'd be surprised how difficult people are just to take money. Charities, right? Just where's it coming from? They're like, just take the damn money. Like, like what is your problem? Here's a check. Oh no, we can't just take a check. We gotta do this. Like, oh come on, it's it's wild. It's wild, but it is what it is. All right, let's do this. I want to see what happens here. We're gonna do. I want us to do a dollar. What does a dollar do? So Ben has been working very hard to keep his top spot. We're gonna buy a dollar of this. Let's see what it goes here. I want to donate a dollar to our good buddy Andrew Super Chat. Let's see. Let's buy a dollar. Did it do it? Man, this doesn't even confirm anything. It just lets me just no password, no nothing. Just boom. There's a dollar. All right. Oh, I didn't even get on the board. Okay, see that's good. A dollar should not get you much. That's good. Number 10, 135. That's the right thing to do. That's the right thing to do. All right, so we'll try $2 on Monday. We'll go dollar by dollar till we get up to 10. See how much points it is. All right. I knew it. This thing is just gonna slowly just trickle down here, friends. And see what it can do here. It didn't even allow me to. It didn't allow me to even write something. Like I wanted to write, hey, moving on up. Started from the bottom. Now we're here, and it didn't even let me do that. So I guess you gotta type. You gotta donate more to be able to write. All right, friends. Let's see. This is an aggressive downturn here on Hood. Look at it. Try to get going, and look, we're right back at the low again. That's pretty nice. I expect it to go lower. And this is gonna make the day. This is gonna make the day. Oh yes, 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 yes. No, one doesn't go too far. I mean, it's a dollar. Right? What did you expect? All right. That doesn't go that far. But 10 gets you a bunch. I did 10, it got me a bunch yesterday, the day before. All right, let's not be greedy. Let's not be greedy. We're at 92. We're almost $2. Well, we're about, you know what? Hold on a second. We're almost $2 from where we need to be. From our entry, excuse me, from our entry. But can he break 92? Look at the volume increase too over the last couple of minutes. Look at this 10:30, right? Once we started dropping, look at the volume increase 7. Now we're trading good. Here it's like, we're just blah 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 blah. Now it's like boom, okay, we're trading now. This is active. People are excited. We're losing some key levels. I'm just not gonna mess around. I'm gonna take another partial here just in case. Because once this volume increase, we're no longer on the merry-go-round. We're on the roller coaster now. This is the roller coaster here with this action back and forth. That's pretty intense. Look at the way it's moving now. You see that? People are interested now. Interested. That's good. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, Ben, you're the king, man. You're on it. I don't think it's gonna be hard to take that count. Sab Rider, it's right on your tail. Bobcat, not falling behind. I feel like I'm in a racetrack. And these are the horse. The name of the horses. Sab Rider, right on his tail. Down the stretch. If you guys ever been to a horse racing track, it's actually pretty fun. Pretty fun. I'm not a gambler, but it's pretty fun. Man, so glad we took this partial here, friends. This is why we do this, because look at this aggressive move. That's a dollar 80 cents move here on this pullback, right? So again, the intensity of the volume has increased drastically here. We're still somewhat of a dollar in this trade, so I want to see it turn down quickly. Now we're going to take partials and be aggressive, but already this is a beautiful trade. Beautiful, beautiful trade. Sarasota Racetrack. Sarasota is on the west side of Florida, right by Tampa. Did I got that right? It's not on the East Coast. I got family on the East Coast. Or is Saratoga just the name of the racetrack somewhere in a different state? It is right by Tampa. And you know why I remember this? Because this was where Saratoga. Is this where the remember that's tornado that hit? Is it there? Saratoga? Is that the same place? You guys remember that? That it was pretty bad and people were evacuating, moving over to the east side of Florida. I heard it's beautiful there. I've never been, but I heard it's beautiful. All right, so it's two places: Sarasota, Florida, and Saratoga in New York. All right, looks like Hood is not going to turn down. I'm not going to take out everything. It's just another defensive partial in case we can continue higher. But again, nice. Look at this recovery. We might still get a test. Careful going long. I think we still get a test of 92 again. I think it's just not going to do V reversal back up to V up. I don't think it has it in it, but it can. I think we're retesting the lows though. Usually that's what we see, right? We see this big pullback and then just kind of retest. And if it does a retest and it does it again, all my reversal traders, double bottom traders, this could be a spot. You'll have a great risk to reward to get back to VWAP. So this could be a thing for you. So let's see how it sets up. What do we have here? Excellent. So 3 partials so far on Hood. Amazing breakdown. So glad I got in. It was not the best trade. I was skeptical, and then here it started messing around. But VWAP played really nice, staying below the VWAP. Came to right to my stop. Remember we were talking about, was it 95.50, 95.40? It came, I think it's 95.50 because we came like almost right to it, but it never hit it. But we were close to stopping out. If you guys remember, I was ready to hit the button. Very, very close to stopping out. And then just look at this. It's just, man, just flushed. Beautiful. Um, Volume is much higher now, so it's much more active. Nvidia pulling back from the highs here, from the all-time highs. I sold my hood puts at the open because I was concerned about DK over the long weekend. Hey, Janine, you did, you made the decision with the information you had at hand. Can't worry about what happens next, right? It's out of your control. And that, to be honest, that is a smart move to do. Holding through a long weekend, depending on how close you are to your entry, is not a good idea. Just don't, just I would have done the same thing. I would have done the same thing. A little. I have a. I live a little more than an hour south. Okay, so Saratoga, New York, and then Sarasota is Florida, right? Is that what we're doing? That's it. Sarasota is Florida. Okay. Excellent. 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 Got it. Thanks, Ben. Okay, so you're up in where's Saratoga, New York? I have to look that up. Let's see. Let's take a look. Oh yeah, by 87. Okay, I see. I see. Very nice. All right, so it's just north of Albany. Cool. Uh, yeah. So for the reversal here, Jasmine. I would love to see a retest. I'm not a great reversal trader, so again, just giving you my thoughts, but don't match it up against your trade book. I think anywhere in this area, right? But you have to use your stop. This is why you have to get as close as possible to this 92.38 because your stop has to be like 92. It has to be like 92, right? Because if it goes here, then you're making a new low. You have to get out. Like right here is still too high because that's almost a dollar stop, which you can. But then a dollar to a dollar is only 1 to 1. I don't really like those odds. If you're getting anywhere near like 92.38 and then using like 40 cent stop, that's beautiful. All right, so if you start seeing a bounce of this area, I think that makes sense because now you're risking one to at least now make almost three. See how big the difference is because your stop has to be here. You do your stop here 92.63. You can, but this is the middle zone. I don't like trading the middle zone. The middle zone can go either way. It can go up. It can go down. Not a big fan of this area taking positions long or short. And the middle zone is usually where the low of the day is, which is 92.11. Here's your VWAP, right? And this area is kind of like the middle zone. So I don't like taking trades here, long or short, because you just don't. I feel like I don't have an edge if I'm taking a trade here, long or short, right? Like my short, if you look at my short, we took it more towards the bottom of the support, right? Here's the support level. We took it more towards the bottom, right? So the midpoint area, it's a little bit tougher. So, and here's the reason why. Look, we're breaking. It can go either direction. We're breaking down a little bit. So, but yeah, if you can get a good entry, if you can see a good double bottom, and I usually like to see the double bottom off the 5 minute. The 1 minute is too much going on. Right? It's too much happening there. It's too noisy. If you look at a 5 minute, here's where we want to see a clean double bottom. Me personally, right? We want to see this come up, hopefully come back down, retest that 92.30-ish area on the way back up. A good stop around 92, below 92.25 towards 92. That could be a good spot, right? So yeah, I think that's what we're looking for. Excellent, friends. Yeah, if you're heading out, have a great weekend. Thor is up next in 10 minutes. He's going to come in and close out the week for us. Looking forward to him seeing what his day was like today. He's also still doing his mentorships later on today, so he has a full schedule today. Looking forward to our buddy coming on. And yeah, guys, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Great long weekend. Um, looking forward to it. Market closes at 2 p.m. Yep. The stock market closes at 2. No, the 2 p.m. I thought it was 1. Maybe it's 2. What time does the market close today? Oh, it's 1. All right. We got to block Ben. Ben is giving bad information. Let's block Ben. We're going to dethrone the king here. Ben. Good. All right. I am going to. I don't want to get out, but I think it'll be irresponsible of me not to take a partial here, given how much we have moved down. So irresponsible to not take a partial. I'm going to take another partial here, and we'll see what's next. All right, once we start getting above this 90, this moving average to 9, then I don't see a reason to stay in this trade anymore. But let's see. Let's see if we're somewhat getting into a downtrend here. It will be great to see that. But a partial just to kind of play some defense. And if it does come back up, because we don't know what's going to happen here, we're at least not taking too many shares with us up there. I'm new to this. Started watching y'all on YouTube about a month ago. Still trading in the sim. I took PLTR short at the close at 940 candle. What did I miss? You took PLTR short. Let's take a look at PLTR short 940. Let's get the 1 minute. Let's dive into this. See what you did, my friend. What's your strategy? That's the first thing I'm going to ask you. If you was one of my mentees right now, I'm going to ask you, what is your strategy here? What is your strat? Like, what's the strategy? Start there. Right? That's the number one question I'm going to ask you. What's the strategy? Right? And the reason for that is because if you don't have a strategy, well, then that's what went wrong. That's exactly what you missed. You don't have a strategy, right? Because what I see with a lot of new traders that I used to work with, and I work with now at P Capital, but the private ones I used to work with, we should dive in deep into their mentorship session. They'll get in here because it's dropping, right? So you're just chasing, right? I'm not saying that's what you're doing, but for the most part, the lot of people that I work with, they went short here because the stock was selling off, so they went short, right? So that normally doesn't work. And usually after a couple of red candles, you know what's happening. There's some green candles coming after that. Same thing, a couple of green candles, some red candles for the most part coming up after that, right? So we got to be careful there. 5-minute PLTR. Let's take a look at the 5-minute PLTR. Thor is going to be live today. Absolutely. Thor is in 7 minutes. Thor will be on deck, ready to go. Yeah, so 940 is going to be this candle here. Yeah. Well, you don't have, at 940 is the start right here. So you don't have this yet, right? You don't have this yet. You get this a little bit later. Now, if you got in at 945, yeah, that's a problem because you don't have this candle yet. Right now, it definitely looks bullish. But let me take a look at Hood. What are we doing? Hood. All right, okay. We'll see if we can break down lower. Let's see. So now, that definitely you don't have that. But if you went in at 940, right? If you went in at 940, what's your entry? That's not a breakdown below the VWAP. I think you're late to the party, right? 940 is right over here. Yeah, you're late to the party, man. This is not it could be a 5-minute ORB breakdown. Could be a 5-minute ORB breakdown, maybe. But yeah, VWAP breakdown, you got to be a little bit closer to the VWAP, right? So I don't see that. That's a good entry. But what was your trade? Dawes, I'm not seeing your messages. Is Thor live today? Oh yeah, I'm seeing your message, man. Come on, I always see your messages. Yeah. Thor is live today. Did you ask that before? If you did, I missed it. With all the fun we're having. So yeah. Going back to our buddy here, Guy, who's new. Yeah, so the breakdown below VWAP here is not great as far as how far the entry is. Now, your entry, if you want the breakdown here, you would have taken it right in this area, right? This is the test, the short, get a little bit of pullback. This is your entry right here, right? This is the breakdown below the VWAP. Here it's a little bit too far out. Look at your risk to reward because your stop loss has to be slightly above the VWAP, right? At least here, by the time you're getting to the low of the day where you can actually see a bounce taking place, you're at least taking one partial, and then your target for me would be 132.78 because that is, I believe, the low of the pre-market, right? Which typically here's where we mark the low of the pre-market. Look at the bounce, right? So if you would have had a tighter entry, so if you have that's the strategy. If you have breakout, no problem, looks good. But if this is your strategy, you got to be a little bit tighter so you can at least get 2 to 1, right? You're risking 1 to make 1 2, right? And that's okay. That's okay. Hood. Yes, 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 yes. I'm gonna get all out on hood. It's not breaking down. It's trying, but it's this consolidation here could be worrisome, especially with the moving averages turning. Uh, Still think it's gonna come back down and retest, but do I want to wait? Do I want to stick around and wait? Moving averages are turning. Still believe it's weak. I don't know. Selling off now again. Let's see. Let's see. Let's be patient, right? We got nothing else to do. We're waiting for Thor to get here so we can hang out and see what takes place. But the longer it takes here, the less likelihood of it going lower. Like you usually want to see it boom and just come back down. It's taking a while. It's taking a while. So it might actually be a long. I'm not seeing anything in the level 2 confirming otherwise. It's pretty quiet right now. Volume is back to being dead. Well, not dead, but lower than what we saw here when the nice action came in. Really good action here. And now it looks actually somewhat bullish trying to break this level here. Look at higher highs, higher lows slamming into a point. Yeah, that could be a bullish move here. Now, if you see it bearish, yeah, I to be honest, it can go either way. I see a little more bullish right now, but it can go either way. But I do see a little more bullish, just because the setup here. See the resistance area, and then the higher lows, higher lows. So I do see a little more bullish. Now, can this thing become strong resistance and break lower? Absolutely, it can. We saw the sell-off happen here. Let's see if it can do something. We'll see. We'll see. I see my good buddy Thor is logging in and doing his thing, so he'll be on with us shortly here. All right, Thor, what's happening, brother?
What's up, buddy? How's it going, man?
It's going great now.
Yeah,
It's going great
good.
now with our Trey on Hood. It was a little rough start today, but Hood came for the
I'm
rescue.
I'm in a rough start. We'll see. I'm working on mine still. I took a short on
Okay.
PLTR off of 135, had a really nice drop afterwards, and then it squeezed and took me out for a stop. But then it held my level, so I kind of got back in. So I'm
Okay.
short
Okay.
again on it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it was the only thing I found today that I was really like in love with, but or in love's a strong word with maybe slightly infatuated with.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so far I still think I've got a good shot on this one. If this one doesn't work because we don't have that much time left in the day, I
Yeah.
probably
I
end up just
see
calling
it.
today a red day. I probably just end up calling today a red day.
I see
So
it selling off
unfortunately,
right here, man. That looks
they
looking good right now. POTR. I see the drop coming. So
drop it like it's hot for us. That'd be
yeah,
nice.
absolutely, man.
So
Absolutely.
fortunately, because of the stop out on my re-entry, my positioning is actually better. So I don't need as big of a
Mm-hmm.
move to get to my target. All I need is PDC. So if I can
Oh,
get to
I see
PDC,
that.
I hit a
Yeah.
target, and then we still call it a nice and green day. So
Yeah.
so we'll see
Yeah.
what happens. So one trade can take us from red to green. So let's see if we get there.
I love it, man. Love it. All right, brother. I'll let you to it. Listen, man. Have a great long weekend. I'll be in chat. I'll be around here. I'm still short hood, but I'll let you take over. You guys over on YouTube, hit that thumbs up if you haven't done
Right
so
on.
already. And
Short in the hood.
Thor will take you through our last session on YouTube Live here, guys. So, all right, man. I'll talk to you soon.
Absolutely. Hey, everybody out there in YouTube. Great to see everybody. So excited to have you all here and with us for the 12 hour. I think, let me get my pop-up chat right here so I make sure I don't miss your questions. Man, I had so much fun yesterday on my birthday. Thank you again, everybody, for all of the birthday wishes and all the fun. Also, thank you for not embarrassing me while Dr. V was here. I think y'all did great, and I think we're gonna get her back next week. So thumbs up for that. Good job, everybody. Y'all did well. I really appreciate it. Hey, thanks, Mike. I had cool parents, so I appreciate them for that. But yeah, so good to see everybody. So today I'm teetering kind of on the edge of an interesting day, right? So as y'all can see here, I am in on a trade on PLTR. I've only taken 2 trades today. I'm in the second one. I'm not 100% sure that this one's gonna work out, but I do know what I don't like about this trade now that I'm in it, and I'll talk a little bit about that. I think is important to discuss. You know what I mean? So we'll take a look at that and we'll do that. So yeah. So for now, a couple of things on PLTR for everybody who's looking at me trying to short this ticker. What is a reason why I may not want to short this ticker? What are we seeing right now on my book map? I think or on my my book map here. What are we seeing here that I think would highlight why shorting may not be the greatest idea on this particular ticker today? Buying. Alex actually has it. Alex, you're the winner on this one. Now, I do agree the order book is a bit balanced, but it's the big green balls, right? Day one. Right. We got a lot of buying. The CVD is very highly green. So I'm actually trying to short right now while the ticker is otherwise, you know, it is relatively going. Also, we swept to the downside now and came back up. So now we have some things that bolster this position, right? So first off, I am short and we haven't made a new high of day after 10:30, right? So that's a pretty good reason. But the reason we're not going down is because to get to our bids to the downside, we need selling and we don't have enough selling. So unfortunately, it was a good short here. I've got a nice squeeze. I really like the re-entry. I'm loving my entry and exit tech methodology on this. I'm feeling very strong about my positioning. But in hindsight, if this squeezes again and I get taken out, I will recognize that I was trying to short a ticker that was otherwise buying pretty much the entire day. Right. So, and the market is actually quite strong, right? ES and NQ both going into breakouts. Of course, I'm picking the one ticker that's a reversal that I think I'm going to reverse, but whatever. So now I will say that if I do take a loss on this one, it'll be, -2R, and I've had already an incredible week of trading. So it's really, kind of came in today feeling a little due. You know what I mean? So I think it's kind of nice coming into your trading days with not having necessarily the expectation that you're gonna come out on top. But today I kind of came into it with the market being the way it is and how choppy it is. I was kind of thinking I'm going to be really cautious today because I have a feeling like today is a day I could end up giving up some money if I'm not careful. So slow playing PLTR here. We'll see if we can get this move to PDC. Maybe we can get there by the end of this session. Who knows? Do you think Apple will reach R4? Let's look. So Apple has some things going for it right now. One, it's very close to its ATR high. You can see this line here is our calculated ATR high, and that's really as high as we would expect Apple to go today based upon its low of day or its session low. Right? So this is where we would expect to turn around, and sure enough, that's where it turned around from. Right? So now we came down here, but the volume on the sell was quite weak. So I wouldn't necessarily say we engaged a lot of selling here. So it looks like now we're squeezing back to reoffer. for me, we broke high of day after 10:30. So the statistical likelihood that we go from R4 to S4 here is incredibly small. And because of our opening location and sweep, we generically would not call this play as a short, right? So that's why you're actually seeing no active play right now, because we would actually need this to get all the way up to R4 and actually get near R4 for us to actually take this as a short, because we would want to play from R4 back across the range, right? If you take the short from here, you're going to run into buying too quickly and it's going to squeeze against you, right? All you gotta do, Dan, to get my indicator in TradingView is just type in Camarilla Pivot Plays. It's by BruzzX. It's there for you, and it is free. We are working on taking the Camarilla Pivot Plays and systeming and moving it in. It will potentially be moved into Trading Terminal as a part of that suite of tools. So we're really hoping, we're kind of doing some of the fun work on that to try and get some of that going. So that's really exciting. We're also working on getting some other aspects put into that system as well. So we're really having a lot of fun with it. So, all right, all right, so still in PLTR. Look at Hood. Yeah, I can look at Hood. Hood is at its ATR low right now. So Hood really shouldn't go too much lower than this. So if you're looking to bottom Hood, this would be kind of that area you would look to do that from if it's a bottom. Right now, I'd say VPA wise, it's been a pretty strong sell today. So I don't think it likely sells off much more than this, but it might not be a long either, if that makes sense. Right? Just because something's not a short doesn't mean it is a long. Right. So this, because, we have moved lower after the IB. So there's a good chance we close on this side and we're already at our projected lows, right? So there's a good chance Hood just becomes a complete garbage heap. There's something you need to keep in mind with Hood. How many of you, other than when Hood, like most recently, kind of went more into play with some of their announcements, are playing Hood regularly? A month ago you were playing Hood, or like a week ago you were playing Hood, or have you only been playing Hood in maybe the past couple of days? Right. So the only reason I'm bringing that up is you have to remember that Hood right now, as well as many tickers, right, have catalysts in place, right, that are really making them a little bit more, making them a little more active, right? But for the most part, these tickers tend to just turn into, you know, they normally don't perform fairly well as a day trading vehicle, right? You can swing trade them a little bit more, but as a day trading vehicle, they can be very, very difficult, right? So just kind of keep that in mind with tickers like Hood. They will. One of the reasons why many of us like to stick with the Mag 7 and others like that is because as a day trader, kind of your job is to do the same thing over and over again, expecting the same result. You know what I mean? So if you're constantly chasing tickers that are doing things that are different or doing different things, then this can often make, replicative behavior more consistent, right? Part of what we're doing is, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know what I mean? So on NVIDIA here, NVIDIA is a higher, wider range. So we would be an R4 short on NVIDIA. Right. So I really like that we got up here. We re-offered. This is a great spot to go short on NVIDIA. This also paired with its ATR high, which is why NVIDIA was on my watch list today. I didn't short it because I'm in PLTR. Maybe I should have waited and just hit NVIDIA. Could have waited like a lot longer to get into a trade and just hit this one here. So far, it looks glorious. So, yeah. It's kind of interesting how M and Q and Nvidia sold a little bit, but the Qs are still holding up. But we actually might be getting into a good spot to get short on the Qs here pretty soon. But we don't have very much time left in the day, right? We close really soon, right? We only got like an hour left, and then we're done with this thing, right? So don't forget futures also close today early. So do you ever trade a stock in a neutral range? Yep. I'll trade them in a neutral range, but it's trickier. right? Ideally, you don't want to trade them in a neutral range because it kind of puts more plays on the table, and having less plays for me is better. So we're starting to squeeze again on PLTR. This ticker has just been such a pain in the butt for me today. So like I said, just too much buying on this ticker. Dalton, I think that's a fair question. So one of the things I can see, um, the one thing that I can say is that I am not a long-term trader. I am a day trader. And I am a day trader for a very specific reason, right? I started trading in 2018, right? Does anybody know who the president was in 2018? The current one, right? So the current one became president in 2018, right? So I have already had the experience of trading in this type of a market, right? Why am I not a swing trader or a long-term investor? Because in 2018 when I tried those things, I found it very difficult. Right now, I actually feel like the market has been much easier this time than last time. I know people, you're not going to believe me, but ask anybody who was around in 18 and 19. Trust me, this market is easier and significantly more directional than it was last time. Last time, we were doing massive swings up and down. We had months where we were going up and down by absolutely crazy margins, tons of volume. I mean, it was nasty, right? So I feel like I was forged as a day trader in like hellfire, man, because those positions were so hard to get into. They were so hard to hold. And at any 5 seconds, right, one social media hit, right, would make everything run the other direction in ways that could not be quantified. I mean, literally, I was sitting in halts on the market. You know what I mean? Like all the time, right? We had tons of tickers that were completely in play, going all the way up there. We had COVID hit during that time period. So we got to see the entire market crash, basically based upon what it thought was a world kind of changing event. We then got to watch the market bounce and crash and bounce and crash and bounce and crash like every 5 minutes when that was happening, right? So there's a reason why I'm a day trader, right? Now, Steve, today's market is a piece of cake compared to that market because we're all used to it, right? Everyone's already done this. When this stuff happens, the market barely even budges now, right? It's the market, the market moved to being more now. So the market was really easy the past 4 years, right? Prior into this, it was really easy to be an investor in the market during the Biden administration, right? Well, I mean, and this isn't to do anything with the fundamentals of the market either. Everybody knew in the Biden administration, right, that no matter what happened, we were going to put cash into the market and the market was going to keep going up. So it did, right? No matter what happened, the market was going to have a hard hit when we switched administrations, right? So that was just a given, right? But we kind of, as a market, the market likes stability, right? The market doesn't like fear. So Trump injects fear into the market, which is why it tends to be a little bit more or a lot of bit more volatile. But we're at all-time highs and we're crushing, right? So what do I think about it? I think buying here is nuts, right? But it might be a buy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think buying here is nuts, but the reality is the potential of the US economy, if it is wide opened, and really put out there, it is quite an impressive machine, right? So there is definitely more topside in this market for a long, long time And the US itself is barely scratching the surface on what it's actually capable of doing production-wise if it really got into it. Right. So I think, and really got competitive. So I think the market itself thinks with the way things are going, and there's still, of course we are day one, and we're buying like reserve currency into crypto, man. None of that makes sense to me, dude. I don't like any of that. You know what I mean? I think the money printing thing is wild. I think all of those things, for the record, day one, I don't like that, right? We're day traders, right? We don't get pay raises, right? So anytime inflation's happening, we're losing money as people who get paid as laborers, basically, right? We're 1090s. You know what I mean? I think that it's really important to stay focused on that, man. That we don't want a market that's ripping up and the dollar getting torched. You know what I mean? Because then we got to make more dollars to pay our bills. So it's like taking pay cuts every time the inflation happens, right? So we don't want that either. You know what I mean? So it's just like it's not good, man. So the current administration, so someone was asking, what do I think about long term? I say I have no idea. I think that this administration, if it does things right, I think this market could be spectacular for a very long time. I think if they screw up even just a little bit, which is within this administration's ability to do, I think we could have another massive correction, right? That could happen any day now, right? The volume is dropping. When we're going higher on the daily charts, our volume is waning. People are not buying, right? It feels like we're mostly selling this volume into retail or something like that, but it really doesn't seem like the longer term participants are the ones who are grabbing this stuff. So at some point in time, we're going to shake this tree loose, and when we do, it's going to be a lot of fruit falling. You know what I mean? And then we'll find out where value really is because we're very, very high up, right? So, but so Melanie, don't disagree, right? So also agree, Corey. We don't reverse because we run out of buyers. Or sorry, we don't reverse because we run out of sellers. There's always going to be people willing to sell higher, right? We're going to reverse because we run out of buyers. When people stop being willing to buy these all-time highs, then the sellers will come in, and then we will go down until we run out of them, right? So, but what we're waiting for now is we see that the buyers are struggling to buy. We're not getting as much upward movement with as much volume on the market. So, but we have not brought in our sellers yet, and that is what we are waiting for. Right, we still need what will likely be a large catalyst style news event. Right, we're going to need a really, really big news event to come out and really hit the market. Some kind of big number that misses, some kind of an effort so that the market we need to get sellers into the market right now in order to drop it. And right now, all the sellers are holding, right? Powell stepping down, I think might do it a little bit. I think Toby, I think the Powell situation is why we're up right now, right? I think that's part of the reason why we're up right now is because Trump installed two officials that both seem to be more interested in lowering interest rates, right? So if they're willing to lower interest rates, then that kind of says something, right? So we kind of have to see how that goes because I do think the Powell play is very sensitive. I think we really have come to over the past 4 years or so, we've really come to, not for nothing. I think Powell did a fairly decent job for what he did. I mean, I feel like his information was relatively on point with what we were looking for. I think he was, I think as honest as someone in his position can be. I think he gave us as much information as he could without spooking the whole market. I actually think Powell did a really good job. So I mean, I couldn't possibly imagine trying to be responsible. Yeah, agreed, Toby. I can't possibly imagine trying to do the job that he was trying to pull off there, especially within a political climate. I mean, my goodness, that just sounds horrible. So someone was asking what I thought about gold. So, I mean, I think gold has like some things about it that are pretty like, hold on, pretty awesome. So let me hide some stuff here. Hold on, it's this one that does it. There we go. So I think if you're looking at gold now, right? I mean, we're smoking, right? This is gold's daily, right? Very soon. I will be recording tonight's session, yes. And for everyone in Bear Bull Traders, I am still doing Thursday night mentoring tonight. Just because tomorrow is a national holiday doesn't mean we're firing off firecrackers on Thursday. We're not that country, are we? Okay, we're gonna fire off some firecrackers on Thursday just to annoy people. No Dr. V today. I know, Bill. Don't cry. Every Wednesday. Okay, Dr. V will be in next Wednesday. So kind of, stay excited, and all of that stuff. But yeah, every single Wednesday, I'm going to try and have Dr. V on. I think next Tuesday, I'm going to have Lenny on. I'm going to try and have Nathan on, our visual order book guy. We're going to have him in on Friday, tomorrow, maybe. If he was a little sick, he was going to come in on Monday, but he wasn't feeling well. So I know, Al, like no one to meditate. I went no meditation today. I know. I think that maybe that's what's wrong with me today. I don't have my I don't have mine. So stinking PLTRs going back up though, but whatever. So MGC, so on the daily, right? MGC found a pretty solid amount of volume here, right? So, and then we re-offered that area, right? And we've sold away from it. So now we're kind of back at like the mid-level of this range here. If we sell from here, I would think we could probably go back down and hit. You can see where we had a premium area we bought here. So I'd look for a move back to like 3,200, right? So I think that would be kind of a nice spot. So if we get into, the normal time frame here now, or the smaller time frame for our day trading, you can see right now this actually puts us near monthly R3, which is a really nice spot to short. But right now we've kind of bounced out of support. So I would actually be I wouldn't mind being a short on this one, but not from here, right? It would need to be way, way, way higher. Right now we're so extended to the downside, we're actually buying S6 right now. Could be a nice spot for a short-term long, actually. And you could actually run the price back up towards R3, R4. It is a very narrow range. So it could actually be a good short-term long. So right now the NQ is just chopping up here. Basically has no desire to go anywhere. So I really don't use the order blocks. I actually took mine off. So I really don't use them. But I can still talk about them, if you would like. So basically, all order blocks are to identify an order block. Basically, what you're looking at is for you to establish a range, right? And then it sweeps that high and then sweeps that low. It will set you can set an order block, basically concept off of that. It's on an ICT indicator that I actually don't have on anymore. So you would have to find that. Like for instance, on Apple here, short towards monthly R4, we bounced off of it, came up here. Could be a really fun one. But So yeah, so what we are working on to Makano is we're going to be trying to put these into trading terminal, so you'll at least still be able to utilize them through that stuff, through that system. So we are kind of working on that as a side project, hopefully. That will go well. So, maybe that'll be a way for you to get access to it. I do actually have a meeting with DOS at some point that we've talked about. And that would be a really fun one. And in that meeting, we may talk with them a little bit to see if some of that ability is there. If so, I'll let you know. I mean, we're trying. We just kind of get stuck out with, we're not, some of this. One of the reasons why specifically we are in TradingView is because TradingView gave us the flexibility to take control of the project, right? So I've been trying to get this stuff developed. So this is all out of my book, by the way. All of the stuff with this indicator, if you read my book, A Complete Day Trading System, right, you will know what this indicator is doing, right? So, and what it is trying to give you. But I wanted to be, you guys and gals don't like, this is a lot of information. The amount of stuff that's going through my head every time I take a trade, I think at times can be a little bit much, right? So I want to try and take away some of that nuance because it slows the learning, or it quickens the learning curve a lot, right? So if you come to work with me privately, I can probably teach you one-on-one my entire trading system in a few months so that you would actually know exactly how to do everything. But with this indicator, for most of you, you may not even need that now, right? If you already have a good reversal pattern or a good continuation pattern you like to play, if you just combine that with my play calls, you'll probably find them start to work fairly well for you, right? So yeah, so just kind of like in here, right? We're reversing. Look right off at ATR high, right? So this is where we should reverse on from Apple, right? Because this is as high as we're projecting Apple goes today. And sure enough, I mean, you can see how well simple indicators like ATR can work. DOS Trader does not have an ATR feature like that, unfortunately. So why futures work better for me? There's actually a lot of reasons I like futures better. One, the margin is very, very lovely. And you don't have to, to be in an American, right? If I want to have margin and be able to short and long the market, generically with most ETFs, I'm going to want to have like maybe a $25,000 to $30,000 account because I'm going to need to meet PDT, or I'm going to have to use a cash account. And there are some brokers out there that do allow you to use a cash account to do that. But if I'm using a cash account, I'm not going to get the position sizing I want, right? Really hard to take a $40,000 or $50,000 position when you've only got $30,000 worth of cash, right? So you need margin, right? So margin is not something to be ashamed of or to walk away from. Margin is there for good reason, right? And it's very useful as long as you use it safely. And I want my margin, right? So I like futures because futures doesn't have the PDT requirements. You can open a futures account with 5 or 10 grand and get $50,000 worth of margin, right? So 50 to $100,000 worth of margin, right? Depending on the broker. Some of them will run you up to 10 times margin, right? So if you've got 10 grand with 10 margin, you can throw around some pretty significant trades with only 10 grand, and you can do it really safely. And that's the thing. Like, I like options a lot and the idea of options and utilizing options because of the lack of those similar issues. But options I find to be incredibly risky and very difficult. So in order to get access to the market through options, you really have to be a smarty. You know what I mean? You really have to take the time and really understand the different, thetas, gammas, all the Greeks. You got to know about decay and premium and, and all of these other little aspects that come in and out of knowing how to properly profit. You got to run condors and butterflies and, and if you're going to trade an option by just buying the option straight, and then treating it kind of like a day trade and not using any of that stuff, well, then in my opinion, why use options at all? This is a great idea for futures, right? So basically, what a future is for those of you who are unaware of futures. Maybe there's some of you in here right now who don't even know. A little thumbs up if you want it. I'll let y'all tell me if anyone wants me to kind of break down more of what futures are. Throw me some thumbs up in there. I can actually, because I don't know if everyone in here knows futures, right? Or, you know, because I assume many of you do. So, okay, so that all I need is one or two of you. Okay, so basically, right, we have some different mechanisms in order to interact with the market, right? So there are different vehicles that we like to utilize, and some of these vehicles have been around for a very long time. Futures, especially commodities futures, have been used since the 1500s. We have first recorded instances of them being used in the Dojima rice exchange in Japan, right? Samurai used to trade rice futures with these as they, you know, were very, very interested in the total economics of the country at the time. It was part of their gig, right? So over time, the market became a very interesting vehicle, right? We started having different aspects out there like gold, crude, and then eventually the market itself, where people no longer wanted to just buy the asset, but they wanted to be able to buy at premium or discount based upon what their perceived movement of the asset would be. Now, options allow us to do that in degree, but we have two issues with options. Options expire in two different ways. They expire both by time and they expire by price, right? But maybe for a future, we don't really want to expire by price. We only want to expire by time. And that's what futures really are. They're very similar to an option, but instead of expiring in two different ways, price and time, we only expire in time, right? So futures are a contract that moves in cycles, 1 month to 3 months. And when they exercise for either a cash or a commodity value. That is right. You can buy commodities futures. And when they expire, you will receive commodities for those futures. So what we do is we trade what is called the minis and the micros, right? So these are cash settled versions of these futures that if they expire, all you're going to do is get cash put in or taken away from your account. So, but this, it's kind of like betting on a horse race, right? You know, we're actually trading NQ and ES futures based upon what we think the QQQ or the SPY or YM for the Dow Jones Industrial, or M2K or RTY being the full size of the Russell 2000, right? So what we're going to be doing is we're going to use these contracts, basically playing an alternative pool on what we think the market is going to do. So what this creates is a kind of an interesting relationship, right? I like to call it the horse and buggy relationship, right? The SPY and the Qs, or the underlying crude, gold, whatever these things, these are the Hoyt. These are the horse, right? Yeah, exactly, right? Exactly, newbie. So we're talking about the horse and the buggy, right? So with the horse, basically, we know that the horse generically pulls the buggy, but it is possible for the buggy to pull the horse, right? If you're going up a steep hill and the buggy is very heavy, there are times in which the horse will fall and roll downhill with the buggy. And this does happen with futures. There are times in which the futures market will influence the overall market, right? Especially around certain events. Like you'll hear things like quad witching, right? Or quarterly witching, right? Since most of our market futures expire every quarter, so you're going to see their contract values being MZ, E and U. MZ, E, and U are our contract values because those are the quarterlies for each one of us. That's our Septembers, our Decembers, our Marches, and our Junes. Wow, I got all of that out of my head. Can you believe all of that sitting in there? Right. So when we're looking at those quarterly contracts, that's what we're making our decisions on. So right now we're actually trading on our next contract, which is going to be our Sept contracts, right? So which is why we're actually using the U value. So cool. So what we're going to be doing with futures now for getting in and out of futures positioning, we don't use a cash value. We use a point value now. So let's go ahead and take a look here at the, we'll look at the micro NQs, right? So micro NQ right now is trading at 23,069.25. And that is a point value that's being assigned to it. For SPY, it's not SPY. This was actually put in here correctly. It's actually the SPX and the NDX, are what the futures are based upon. So they're actually based upon the cashed value or the cash indexes for the SPY in the QQQ. And that's when we're talking about taking cash, that's kind of what we're thinking about, right? So when we're looking at these, we're getting a point value that's assigned based on that, but it is not in tandem, right? You will see that they oscillate off and on. Sometimes it's the horse, sometimes we're the buggy, right? So we got to watch these go up. Now, each time NQ moves or MNQ moves, we get $2 per contract, right? Every time we tick, right? When we go from 0 to 75, from 0 to 20, 50, anytime we're moving one tick, which is 1/4 of an increment, 0.25, we are moving $2, right? So if you have 10 contracts of micros, every time you take one tick, you're going to make 20 bucks, right? Now, I know you're like, oh, wow, that's not very much. NQ moves on average 343 points a day, which multiplied by 4 tells you how many ticks it moves in a day, right? So NQ is actually cheaper to trade than SPY or ES, but because NQ moves significantly faster, significantly further, it's actually a much more dangerous vehicle because you can take more contracts thinking you're going to get a good price, and then all of a sudden you have a massive wick and you lose a lot of money on it because this bad boy likes to move, right? When he move, right? So you got to kind of keep that in mind, right? On NQ. On ES, every time we move, it's $5. Right now, that's on the micros, MES, right? If we're talking about the full size, which would be ES or NQ, right? We're talking a 10 times multiple, right? So if it moves $2 per tick on NQ, that means it's going to move $20 per tick on the full size, right? ES is 5, so the full size moves 50. So you got to be really, really careful with these, right? So when you're getting in there, right? So we have to go in there and take a look at that and make sure we're factoring in our risk as we go in there. Oh, sorry. I said tick when I meant point. $20 per point, $5 per tick. So thank you, Nibby and Brent. So now let me show you how that works with maybe some positioning, right? So let's go ahead and I'm going to log into a paper account here so I can show you guys how this looks. So if you go right here, let's say you wanted to go short, right? If you open up your trade panel, you can put on a limit order, and this is my favorite way to do it, and just go ahead and load in like 5 contracts. We're gonna go sell. We can put our stop loss at, let's say, $100. So we can take 5 contracts, and if we want to go to a good ratio, let's say we're risking 100, so we want to make 400, right? That's how far we know we need to go in order to get, so if we go short here, this is a very easy way to calculate. You can take 5 contracts, you can short them here, and if you stop out at, this move, so many ticks, which it ends up being 40 ticks to the top side, right? Then you're going to risk $100 on 5 contracts at 40 ticks. Right? So instead of saying cents, we're just talking about ticks, right? So I generically risk around 200. So like on a position like this, I could risk 10. And then I would go for like 800, something like that. So I generically run a little bit of a wider play on NQ, right? So generically, my positioning on NQ would be something more like twice this distance. So I'd probably only have 5 contracts at twice this distance, and I'd be running for a target down by R4, right? I tend to run significantly wider stops on NQ. I agree, Danny. It's a tight one. So anyway, that's kind of how you do that. PLTR just not being fun today at all. So it's 11:40. A little bit of in-house cleaning work, right? We got to do what we got to do. Everybody who's in the channel, if you're enjoying all this great educational content and you want to make sure it stays around, there's only one thing I need you to do, and you know what it is. So just take 5 seconds, smash the button for me if you haven't done so already. If you've already done it, you don't have to unsmash it and resmash it. I appreciate the sentiment. But just for everyone who's been here hanging out and just kind of forgot that you have but one purpose. No, I'm kidding. Yeah. Thank you so much. Dude, ChatGPT newbie, I can tell you right now, it gets a little bit of it off, but man, you'd be so surprised at how smart that stinking thing is, man. It creeps me out. Yeah, of course. So if you have the Camaria pivot plays installed, right, then setting the alert, you likely want to have the premium version of the application, right? Because you can set the alert to your entire watch list that way, which I really, really like. So all you have to do is go in there, and what I do is I set the alert to my watch list, and then the condition is going to be Camaria pivot plays. For the condition for the call, you're going to use the any alert function, not the crossing, not the greater, not the less, not any of the other ones. Do the any alert because we call it ourselves from within the code, right? So if you want it to do exit calls, you actually do that in the configuration, right? The interval for me is 1 minute, and I leave it open-ended. Boom. What are you talking about, water, dude? CL just called. Not very much time left in the day. Wish there was more time left in this day. All right, so what are we looking at? So PLTR I have cut because we're getting too close to the end of the day. So I'm actually going to cut PLTR for a really small, like I'm going to cut it like maybe for just a really small win, which will kind of offset. I mean, I've got a little over an R, so it'll basically green me for the day by just a small margin. There's just not enough time left in the day to get this trade to work. So oh, that sucks up. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut that one. So that basically closes me out more or less flat for the day, which isn't horrible. So it could be worse. So we'll take that. I had a feeling today was going to be a little bit annoying. So 3 cheers for flat. So we'll just take that. And then let's see where we end up. I think next week will probably be a better week anyway. So so easy enough. But we still got about 15 minutes left. So any questions y'all have or anything like that, obviously feel free to ask. We'll still talk going into the close, but I want to go ahead and get out of that position and not rock and roll that thing in there. So kind of like crude here. You think Apple's going to go bust? I don't see why it wouldn't. I mean, at this point. No, yeah, I know. We still got some time left on the market. It's just not enough time for me to continue to leave that position on. So I don't like holding my positions into the last hour on this. I'm kind of watching crude right here for a possible long. I wouldn't mind holding a crude position for like because the futures will go a little longer anyway. And if the market sells a little bit in here into the close, crude could be a really sweet long here. So I kind of like the idea of getting long on some crude down here. I might even get a little on my IB and I could even swing that potentially. A lot of our things like gold and crude are down a little bit because the market's so ripping. My challenge is to be able to stay at the stock. I currently use VWAP setups. Any advice? So Dan, I think utilizing VWAP, I think using VWAP is a solid idea. But I don't like okay, I gotta say this right. Public service announcement, right? I am not a momentum trader, right? So I do not have VWAP on my chart, right? So I don't really, but it's not to say that like VWAP isn't a good indicator, it doesn't work. I just don't use it. Right. So the VWAP for me is a really nice indicator, but it's kind of like VWAP is like rolling volume value, right? What VWAP is showing you is the average price weighted by volume, right? So what do I mean by average price weighted by volume, right? So if anybody is buying as their, so here's kind of what I like about VWAP. Let me talk about VWAP for a second, and let me kind of, yeah, I agreed, Ben. Here's the cool thing about VWAP. VWAP, it just doesn't change my decision, so it's why I don't use it. But like, let's say like the price is going up, 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 and you see VWAP going like this. If VWAP is going like this, then you can genuinely, what time frame? VWAP happens on any time frame. That's one of the other issues. VWAP is a volume weighted average price. So it's generically the same on basically every time frame until you go into a larger time frame, right? Like VWAP on a daily chart is going to be a different VWAP than you're going to have on a smaller than daily chart, right? But otherwise, 1 minute, 5 minute, 10 minute, 15 minute, 20 minute, 1 hour, 2 hour, 7 hour, those are all going to be all the same VWAPs, right? It's not until you switch the time frame to day that things get a little bit different. So VWAP is just the volume weighted average price. As long as it is going up, that generically means you're buying, right? Why? Because as there are buying, the average price is going to go higher. One way to know that you're about to have a good reversal is you are far away from VWAP and VWAP starts to flatten, right? If VWAP goes flat, that means no one's buying, right? It doesn't mean no one's selling, right? VWAP doesn't work like that. If people are selling up here, VWAP does not go down, right? It just stays flat because the selling up here doesn't change the average price. It has to be underneath it to change the average price on the sell side. So you'll just know it's selling because it flattens, right? So, and then the idea would be to play back towards it. And that idea I kind of like, right? Because the idea here is VWAP is going to be it's going to be like a rolling pivot, basically, right? You're going to go under it, you're going to go over it, you're going to go under it, you're going to go over it, you're going to go under it, you're going to go over it, right? The reason why I don't like playing off of VWAP is versus towards VWAP is because generically the move off of VWAP is this part, right? It's this part. I like to get it away into VWAP and through. So what I would do is I would pair the utilization of VWAP, and this is the recommendation, with a level of significance. That's the key, right? It's not just about VWAP. Where is VWAP, right? Is VWAP sitting at previous day's close, for instance, right? Is VWAP near the open price, right? Is VWAP near, is VWAP staying at the open price even though you're squeezing away really, really fast? That means there's no buying, right? So now we play back. Or if we come back to VWAP, and as we come back in towards VWAP, VWAP keeps moving towards you. That means we're buying as we're coming back, right? Look at the bounce on crude there. That's pretty nice. Did anyone happen to take a little long on crude there? Yeah, it's because I was drawing on it. So for me, it's a long because it's in a wider, higher range, right? This is the play. So for me, I would be interested in this mainly just for that reason. So for me, I don't think we're going to go much lower than this. So I think it's a good spot. Yeah, it's a solid play. So we'll see what happens on this one. I like this one. This is good. You can see here. So we went down here and we sold into S3 and then we bought. I went ahead and went long when we took that new high. So that was a pretty good one. That's not looking so bad. So I don't think I'll be willing to give this one back. So maybe it shouldn't come back down and retest. Maybe I'll go ahead and pull here. Yeah, I'm up about 1R on this one right now. So I risked $200 at the loss of my range here. Right? So it came down here, hit, I went long here, my stop's below here, and my target will end up being a movement back to R4. So yeah, so just to round off thank you. So just to wrap off the VWAP thing, I would say use VWAP, right? But try and combine it with a level of significance, right? So you want to try and take VWAP and like, let's say if you're like cams are really great. Let's say you want to buy S3, having VWAP at S3 when it pulls back to VWAP, so you can buy VWAP at S3, that I like. You know what I mean? So use the VWAP play as your how, right? Every trade that you take, you should break down into, it's actually 4 metrics, but for the lack of a better, let's call them 3: where, when, and how, right? The 4th is performance. There's actually a performance metric of your trading that you need to look after. But the main things are, do you have a where, do you have a when, and do you have a how? VWAP is a how, not a where, right? Like you don't really want to take a trade just because it's hitting VWAP, right? You want to hit a trade because it's hitting VWAP at a specific level of interest, right? That gives you, because now you have something to test. Okay, I'm near this monthly level. It's held VWAP and made a new high. I'm going to go long risking VWAP, right? That's your average price, right? So it shouldn't go back through your average price. That for me makes a lot of sense as utilizing it as like a, as an entry exit mechanism, because then now that you've gotten in at VWAP, you can actually use VWAP as an anchor for your position. If it ever comes back through, you can get out, right? So if it starts going up and up and up and up and up, and VWAP starts going up and up and up and up and up, right? You can stick your stop behind VWAP and trail it, right? And just let it roll. See, I'm glad I cut that stinking PLTR position. It's just being a piece of junk. Flat day today. My pleasure, Dan. So so far today's a flat day. I am up 220 on my crude position right now, that I'm taking. So we'll see how that goes. Quick announcement, just reminding everybody, if you are going to be in Florida or near Florida, or you have enough, or if you want to buy a plane ticket, I am having a little bit of a social get together down in St. Augustine next weekend. It's going to be a lot of fun. I've got a room reserved at the Oddbirds, which is like this really fun little spot down in St. Augustine. After we hang out and talk trading for a few hours, we're going to hang out at the beach mostly in the day before, just having fun. We're then going to hang out, have some drinks, food, talk trading. It is a BYOB event, so bring your buy your own beverage. I am renting the location, but I am not a baller like Andrew, so I can't pay a whole bar bill. So I mean, come on now, no. So come out and hang out with me. I look forward to just like hanging out with everybody. We're gonna burn down St. Augustine a little bit that night and just have a lot of fun. So if you're so inclined, Carlos just posted a link. He posted a link in there to my Eventbrite for it. So feel free to sign up if you'd like to come. I'd love to have you there. There's no expense other than just your entertainment costs while you're there. I'll take care of the rest. So I hope you all come. I hope to see a bunch of people there. So I am not red today, Sufbar. I am flat today. So I was going to be red today. I ended up cutting PLTR because it's not going to sell off. I can tell that in the book. So I took 2 trades on PLTR. The first one was a full loser. And the second one I basically cut for about an R. So it ended up my target on this one was a little tighter. So this ended up being about an R. And then I did, because I wanted to get rid of this one. I just wasn't feeling it anymore. And I wanted to green that out. And then I went long on crude, which is what I'm in right now. So I went long on crude here because this was an actual really nice, clean setup. And it looked like we were going to bounce here. So we sold here, good volume. We pressed, our volume dropped. We sold back with volume. And then we kind of hung up here. So I went long crude and got rid of that PLTR. It just wasn't working for me. So yeah, we'll see what happens today. If this one doesn't make it, at this point, I feel pretty comfortable pulling my stop up inside. It shouldn't come back through pre-market low and take me out. So if this one hits here, then I'll just call it a day. But first futures trade of the day, actually. So I'd like to get a K out of this one. So I'm gonna shoot for $1,000 on it. I risked 200 at the loss of the box here. So 1,000 will probably be a move about all the way to R3. I'll see how close we can get to it. But this is a really nice entry position. Thor, I realized yesterday during meditation that I hate to lose, and holding losers is not wanting to take responsibility to a bad trade or not wanting to be. Oh man, Ben, I don't disagree with that. I think that's a really great point, man. I'm dealing, kind of, I know we only got like 1 minute left or 2 minutes left. The emotional side of this thing is a ringer, man. Like, that's why we're going to try and have Dr. V on weekly to really kind of work with us as traders in here. I mean, I don't know how many of y'all are getting to go to regular shows where we have a regular performance coach on to help y'all out. I'll teach you how to trade and help with performance, but she's got the, she's the real deal as far as just having the PhD and all that, right? So, but it's a real tough gig, man, because it's like when you lose. I was kind of talking with one of my mentees about this. There is a certain nicety to consider this to be gambling. You know what I mean? Because I think if you think it's gambling, then maybe you don't care as much if you lose, right? You kind of go into it saying, okay, I get that this is a statistical play, but in a way, it's kind of just a gamble. You know what I mean? I never really know what's going to happen. I'm just taking setups, right? It's not really about trades or me. It's just about setups. Right. So when you say 200, no, that 200 stop was a hard stop. If it had went through 200, Pretty Bird, I would have exited at exactly a $200 loss. That's my 1R per trade. I won't lose more than 200 per trade. It's really interesting how that all works. You know what I mean? So it's I think going into it thinking more of it as being a gambling, and I know a lot of us don't want to do that because you don't want to tell your friends and family that you're a gambler for a living, like you're a professional poker player or something. But I mean, you basically are. You know what I mean? It's what we're doing. We're using intelligent foresight in order to predict what is generically unpredictable, right? But because of that, you need to take the same kind of a lack of ownership in the result, right? Let's say you go to the horses, right? You get into the horses, you go there, Kentucky Derby, there's a horse, the right jockey, the right horse, you make the bet, the horse gets a Charlie horse, trips and falls on its horse face, right? And then you lose all your money. Is that your fault that you lost that money? I mean, it's your fault because you exposed the money to the market. That's true, right? But it's not your fault otherwise. There was no way for you to know if the horse was going to fall flat on its face or not, right? And that's kind of how stock trading works, right? All you can do is feel good about the entry, and then that's it, right? So like right now, I took a loss on PLTR. I then went break. I then took a little profit, so I'm break even, and I'm in now on MCL. I love my trading day today. I've taken 3 clean setups that all fit my rules, that all fit the way I want to get in and out of trades, right? So because of that, no matter what happens, I was a good gambler today. You know what I mean? I was in control of myself, my emotions, even though I'm a little emotional. Surprising after effect of turning 44 yesterday. I actually kind of had like some not happy stuff about that. So I kind of spent some time like it's kind of a weird place to be today. Kind of came in not really super stoked about my day, but we executed, we got our thing going on, and now things are really rocking and rolling, right? So keep that in mind as we go into the next week, right? Our main theme, I think, for next week is that we need to stay focused on what our role in the market is and how so that we can stay emotionally intelligent, right? While we're actually interacting with the market. This isn't about us. This is about probabilities. And do we know what's going to happen tomorrow or in the long term? No, we don't, right? We'll never know. Even as a human being and everything that's going to happen in your life, you're never going to know what's going to happen tomorrow. All you can do is take the setup and hold, right? Take the setup and go. Get out when you know you're supposed to get out. Otherwise, hold that setup, right? And let it hit its target. Because what's going to happen is if you don't take that setup, if you don't hold that setup, you will never hit the target, right? You will never hit any target that you don't take the setup for, and you'll never hit any target that you don't hold for, right? So next week, let's commit to getting that setup and holding for those targets and doing our best. I hope everyone had a great trading week this week. Enjoy your holiday, all of us Americans there. And if you have any questions, always throw me an email, shoot me a message, and I'll talk to you all on next week. Much love, people. As always, keep it green.